Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice, just me going over some charts, some options data, getting ready for the week ahead. That's going to be the week of June 22nd through the 26th. I am recording this on Friday, June 19th. I was going to do it about 20 minutes earlier. I was actually going to do it an hour or so earlier than that, but I just kind of got busy with things, got behind on things. And yeah, and so what you can see over here behind me, I'm just going to move my OBS screen over here. What you can see is that, I posted this poll earlier today. Should I stream in 5 hours or now, effectively, going over stocks and options? And I only got 3 votes. I was hoping for 5. Nobody said they don't care. But if you do want me to do more streams, more videos, make sure you get them up to 10 likes and or 100 views. If you do like this content, if you don't, then don't worry about it. But I was just going to go over some stuff for myself, and I thought I might record it. And hopefully 3 people do enjoy this. If you do, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the videos that you do enjoy. And I will do more of them. And I should note too, let's just see over here, going over the videos that I most recently put out. This is just a fun one from Arc Raiders. And then Galaxy Digital, that did get over 100 views. So partly why I'm doing the stream. AMC, unfortunately, did not get 100 views. I talked in that video about AMC cooling off, thinking that it will still go higher, and it had already cooled off. It started to pop over last week. So I was, I guess, maybe a little bit late with that, but really, just thinking that it's cooling off before going higher. That's what I talked about. And Galaxy Digital, pretty excited about that one. Wish I had a bigger position, but at the same time, don't want to be chasing. I will be going over those stocks in this video. And really, I'm just going to go down this list of these stonks over here, and it just depends on how long it takes. I'll try to get through all of them. And then if I do get through them, which I suspect I will, I'm going to go through this kind of other list of stocks that I'm interested in to see if there's any interesting options data, and then can use that to kind of make decisions on what really stands out as being bullish, what stands out as not being so bullish. But yeah, if you do enjoy this, make sure you like it. And I should note too that I will be going over these in approximately this order, so you can kind of skip ahead to find your favorite ticker, or just hang out to enjoy the analysis that I'm doing as I do it. And so let's just first real quick look at the S&P 500. Was up yesterday by about 1%, but it's been putting in lower highs. Lots of volume yesterday, and the candle spread wasn't that much. So that's kind of an indication that maybe the top is in, or maybe we're waiting for something. And I should also note too that this red day, which was Wednesday, came down 1.21%, and that is of course because of, I believe, the what is it? The Fed meeting, I forget, FOMC, where not Jay Powell, but Kevin Warsh spoke for the first time. And you can hear people's mixed reviews on him online if you like. But yeah, I mean, I think that we're kind of getting, maybe this is going to be a bull flag before it breaks out higher. I don't really feel too bad about things. Looking at the Qs, we can see up yesterday 2.5%. And let's see, IWM, smaller caps, let's see, up nearly 2%, 1.97% yesterday. And let's see, VIX kind of dying down. The dollar, I would think that this is topping. Yeah, it seems like it's topping. But anyways, I'm not going to get into a bunch of that stuff because I'm not super familiar with it. But let's talk about the first one on the list, which is AMC. And I should note too, I'm going to be switching back and forth from the screen that you guys see here to spreadsheets that I have for myself, just to kind of be making the plan ahead for the week. And as you notice, what I had drawn here prior to Monday, June 15th, is we're putting in higher highs. We were putting in lower highs. So that's bearish divergence. But it's really just kind of broken out. Higher high with a high yesterday on the 18th of 290. I had posted on X. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see, excuse any junk on here that you might see. But I had posted something about AMC over here. Yeah, so if you guys want my analysis on stuff, I might just post it kind of casually on X. So over here, this is from the 14th, which was, I guess, was that the 14th? Was that Sunday? Yep, that would have been Sunday. When did I put out that most recent video? I don't know. I guess a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure. Anyways, coming back to this, I said, despite AMC no longer having weekly contracts and this week's close of greater than 2, not necessarily being significant, yes, so this was after last Friday. The upcoming max pain for this Thursday, which was yesterday, is $1.50. And if we do look over at max pain, yesterday's max pain was $1.50. However, we do notice that this has changed. For July, the max pain has increased to $2 a share. And so let's continue on here. So with this Thursday being $1.50, market closed on Friday for Juneteenth. And so this is suggesting that we could be in gamma ramp or squeeze territory for the next couple of weeks. That's kind of my thought process here. And so if max pain stays $1.50, which it did for yesterday, market makers will want to drive the price lower, but I suspect they will fail at getting price that low in just 4 trading days. Hey, Bruce, what's up? I hope everyone, this is coming from Bruce saying, I hope everyone executes all the $2.50 strike options. 3 is going to be easy for AMC. I agree. I'm going to go over some of the options data. There is some selling that I've noticed decreasing in some of the calls. So it might be that we're, again, like the last video that I put out, that we might be getting into kind of a cool off phase before the next rally up. But we will look at all of that. And so let's see. And also I did have a covered call. I've sold 3 covered calls. I'm kind of like limiting my doing that at this point. And I did have a strike for $1.50 yesterday, but I actually rolled it to next month, and I'll talk about what I did with that. But yeah, I think that price could be going higher, and I don't want to be parting with shares at $1.50, even though I made $70 profit selling that. So it's selling shares at $2.20. I didn't want to part with them. So I'll talk about that. And then, yeah, so market makers will want to drive price lower, but I suspect they will fail at getting price that low in just 4 trading days, and that we could see some big moves to the upside in the next 2 weeks. And so this week has passed. The first week, we did see some big moves. After that, I suspect it will cool off, and that is to say short-term top. And so if max pain increases to $2, which it does for next month, for July, market makers will more likely succeed at Thursday close at max pain, killing the recent momentum. So they might be doing that over the next month, but so far we're well above max pain. If closing price maintains greater than $2, that seems like bullish moves likely to continue. I suspect so, but I do think that there will be some cool off times, on the stair steps that we take up. If it closes less than 2 and max pain increases to 2, I suspect the top is in for the next month. And so I don't think that's happening now, but I think it could be happening for July. And so my bet was that AMC tops around 259 to 316. We did hit a high in that range at 290. So getting very close. You can see the 1272 Fibonacci extension here. Not really familiar with that level, but I just wanted to have another level up there around 3. That could be acting as some resistance, and I do think that we will probably cool off, find around 250 as support. That would be my bet moving forward. But just continuing on with reading this, 259 to 316 in June, and that could be tomorrow, which would have been Monday. We went higher. We continued higher. So Monday did get a little bit of a pullback. I thought that might be the top, but it just powered through, continued higher. And so I'd expect that. I wouldn't be too surprised we see a red day. Don't get too panicked by it or anything. Just chill. I think that this is probably going to continue to go higher. And let's see, possibly tomorrow, before cooling off, which I think we might be getting into that phase now, but I could be wrong again. But that we won't see the upside momentum go ice cold until we see more green check marks in the table. And so that is the options table here. So this was for July over here, $1.50. If we look at it now, it's now $2. But there's no green check mark. So we have actually, this is interesting. We had the green check mark here, $2 for January 15th of 2027. That was a green check mark. It's no longer a green check mark. It's still $2, but we have gone well above that strike. So yeah, I mean, the nearest strike is going to be either 250 or 3. So yeah, so we've got some upside, I think. Let's just go back to finishing up what I had written over here. So far, I see the trend of higher highs and higher lows continuing into 2027, unless, of course, the trend is broken. And so it's possible we're seeing that with this one being $2 now, but there's no green check marks here. And so that was kind of the thesis there. And so now I'm just going to check back in the chat. See Bruce, there's a follow-up from Coinage. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you live. Yeah, it's been a while. I've still been playing, a lot of Arc Raiders, to be honest, but I just haven't been streaming too much. Bruce is saying I bet Toy Story will do more than $200 million. I haven't been following Toy Story at all, so I'm not too familiar with it. I have been really impressed with Obsession and Backrooms. I don't know if you've seen either. I've not seen Backrooms, but Obsession, I'm kind of like, I really love that movie. It's some scenes in it were a little intense for me. I mean, actually kind of like the second half was like too intense for me, but it was fun. You go to a horror movie to be horrified, and it definitely did that. But just the performances of the two actors, Indy Navarrete, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, and then Michael Johnston, both did a great job. Their performances in that she's technically not possessed. There's no demonic possession. It's just Michael's character had this wish, one wish Willow, and he wished her to love him more than anything in the world. So she kind of became obsessed with him. But I think it's also kind of a play on him being obsessed with her. And yeah, it was just, both of their performances were really good. And he was terrified the whole time, and she was just like insane the whole time. So I really recommend seeing that one. I have not seen Backrooms, but it seems like an interesting movie. And then otherwise, I'm not really too excited about other movies coming out, but maybe there's something I'm missing. But yeah, I mean, Toy Story, from what I understand, always performs well. The last one that I saw was 2. I didn't see 3, and I haven't seen them since. But yeah, still Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, and I don't know if Keanu's come back for the motorcycle guy, but yeah, should be a good family fun movie. And Coinage is saying, did I lose my partnership with YouTube? No, I haven't lost the partnership. I actually removed the donation button because to get paid from YouTube, I have to hit $100. And I've been below that for a while. And so all the donations that I've gotten from people, they just kind of sit in my little YouTube account until I cross $100 threshold. And YouTube, and I believe also Apple, takes a notable cut of the tips, the supers. And, I want to be making these videos for fun, sharing information, sharing my thought process. And I just think that how small my channel is and the amount that YouTube and Apple take from those, I didn't feel like it was appropriate to be taking tips, because it's been months since I've actually gotten paid from YouTube. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep periodically making stuff. So there's no like pressure for me to be doing this. And just doing it for me, doing it for you guys if you enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, you guys don't need to be donating or anything, because it's just too much of a cut, and I don't really see the benefit of it until like months and months later. So let's see. And then Orion, what's up? And Bruce also has a follow-up here. I'm actually going to move the chat over in front of me so I'm not looking to the side. Let's see. Bruce is saying, watch Backrooms, Mortal Kombat, and Disclosure Day. I haven't seen Disclosure Day. I to me, that just reminds me of like the Independence Day time of movies. And it's like that was an era. You know, if I want to watch Independence Day, I'll watch Independence Day. And Disclosure Day just doesn't seem, I'm not too intrigued by it, but I am like, I'm more interested in like the, I guess, more artistic, lower budget films, the independent films, you know, like Terminator, the first Terminator, that was an independent film, or very, you know, like I think Jim Cameron didn't make any money with it. So yeah, I mean, I liked that movie magic time, not just the visual effects and yeah, like you know George Lucas, he was kind of a visionary, but kind of a poor writer as far as dialogue goes, and the kind of collaboration then, the collaborative process made the first trilogy of Star Wars great, you know, the original trilogy. But then over time that changed because of hubris or, you know, the people weren't criticizing him, whatever. I feel like Steven Spielberg's kind of there now, where it's just like he can do anything and it doesn't matter. So I'm not as interested in those movies, but if it seems really good, maybe I'll have to go see it. Mortal Kombat, though I did see, it was fun, but I think I'm more interested in Street Fighter. Just they seem like they really lean all the way into the fun of that kind of movie, whereas I feel like Mortal Kombat was just kind of odd, and I didn't see the first one, so maybe there's that too. Let's see. Orion is saying, "Oh, BB, all I know is buy and hold DCA every day." BB is that BlackBerry? I think that could be a pretty intriguing one, and so I'll add that to the TRL list. Actually, I'll come back to the chat and add that there, but I'm going to start going through some of the data. Can I go over some of the stocks or crypto you have? I'm always interested because I can look into those. This year, I've been focusing a lot on diversifying. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so that's kind of my plan is I'm just going to go through the ones that I hold first, and I'll kind of talk through what I plan on doing with them. Which is really just like over the course of the week. And what I have done is I have sold some of my AMC, not recently, which is kind of disappointing. Like on the move from here up to here, I sold some, a little bit disappointing. And actually maybe from the move here to here, I sold some as well via covered calls, just because, I don't know, maybe that's just capitulating at the bottom or something. I don't know. But I just needed to have some cash on the side to be trading, and didn't want to be adding more into my account. And so that was kind of a compromise way for me to do it. And then I've been doing some comparisons of if I would have sold all that AMC and not done anything with it, if I would have held, and if, as I have sold, how have I been trading against what I would have if I held. One account, I've made more by trading after having sold some AMC. The other account, I've lost money trading. I actually had some contracts expire worthless yesterday, which it is what it is. I learned some lessons with that. I already kind of knew those lessons, but you know, that's all part of the process. You win some, you lose some. I lost a decent amount yesterday, but I'm still going, and I'm still doing fine, so it's no big deal. And yeah, so I'll first talk about AMC. And so kind of like what I had just gone over with that post on X is, you know, I see the trend continuing of putting in higher highs and higher lows. And so now that we've put in another higher high, I think we might be pulling back. I think we could be pulling back to this trend line. I think that this trend line could actually be a little steeper. And so I think that like I could do it like, you know, rather than from the, rather than from the highs, I could do it from the closes there. And so this is kind of where I could see AMC returning back to, really just kind of like coming back to around 250. And let's map some of this out. I think I've got some drawings over here, some Fibonacci retracements that I can put back in. Okay, so from the bottom here at 93 up to the top, it pulled back to the 618. So I think that's interesting to note. I believe I have another Fibonacci retracement here, which goes from the bottom here to the top here, and that pulled back to only the 382, the blue line here, and before going higher. And so I think it could be doing something similar. And so let's see, the low over here was at 172. I'll have to adjust this in a minute. And so let's see, let's lock that into place. And so 172, I'm just going to bump that up to 172. And then the high over here was 290. I remember that. I've said it a couple times. And so that's like the Fibonacci retracement that we're working with. And pulling back to the 382. So just like it had done over here. So if I remove these other retracements, just so it's not so cluttered. Ooh, actually, what did I just remove? That's the extension. I want the retracement. Okay, yeah, so this blue line here, let's see if I zoom in, maybe you could see it. 382 right there. Pulled back to that, found support. And so I'm thinking maybe that could happen again. Pulls back, and that will be coming down to around 238. And let's see, when was this high? This was on a Monday after a strong Friday. And so on that Friday, on the 29th, what was the max pain there? Let's just scroll down. The 29th of what month was that? That was the 29th of May. I get confused about what month it is. Time moves so fast. 29th of May. So yeah, max pain was $1.50 that whole time. And what happened on that? So on that Friday, max pain's $1.50, closed at a price of 173. So not really much higher than max pain, but just continued up. And then let's see, came back down here. Friday, this is kind of a low. So yeah, I mean, it's, big move up, cool off. Maybe we're going to see a big move up into Monday, but then I suspect a cool off. And I think it could be coming back to 250. And if we do look, taking a step back, what are some, okay, so what's the low over here? That's around 250. Kind of this consolidation. Because, yeah, I mean, let's just remove my drawings for a second. So we're up over here. That's kind of getting into all this consolidation. I think there's probably going to be some resistance there. And let's see these other levels. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of got like this horizontal line here, right around 240 to 250. And what we can see with that, let's bring the drawings back. Got a bunch of crap up here. But what we can see is, let's see, a horizontal ray. Oh, and just making sure all these are drawn up there. They're not hidden. But yeah, just going from like the approximate lows over here. So let's see, what was the close? What was the close on this day? And I'll tell you why. I'm going to choose the close 247. The low is 246. Let's do 247. And I'm just going to lock that into place. And so we had two candles that overlap with it. We got one close, wick below it, one open below, opening at 244. So right around there between 240 and 250. And then from that, we get a test of that, appears to that level over here on, and I should note, sorry, that was April of 2024. And then here, April of 2025, we saw a low of 245, back test of that here, rejected. And so I think that what we're going to want to do, just like we broke below it here, back tested, rejected, came down a lot. I think what we want to do is back test 240 to 250, maybe 260. I don't know, but I would like to see it come down to around 250, back test that and go higher. So my thought process with this is going to be basically, I think it could continue up, let's say to 316, but then I think it will come down maybe over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks to around 250. And then we could start to see it go up. Something like that. Oh, I think this would be kind of a more immediate spike up. And then it could take its time, boring people a little bit, saying, oh, that was the move, time to get out, time to sell. And then over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks, pulls back to 250, and then it starts to go. And it looks like earnings approximately estimated date in August. So that's some time from now. But, oh, and actually, yeah, this is just a doodle, so take it with a grain of salt. But it could be something like June or July. Yeah, something like that. Going up to around 4. So that's what I could see. Yeah, and I'm not going to do any like crazy extensions or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of go with this continue one, getting up to around 4. But let's look at some of the, oops, bumped the mic, some of the contract data. And so this is the $2 strike call that expired yesterday on the 18th. This is something that strikes me as a little bit concerning. We just have all of these decreases in open interest. It was over 120,000 contracts open, and then it came down, got cut in half basically, did close in the money. Hopefully some of those calls get exercised. I mean, if I, let's see, what am I thinking about? I think I have one remaining. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a second, but I'm considering exercising a $2 strike call, but for next month. But yeah, what we can see here in the net call and put premium is net call premium going up a bunch, but also in red, net put premium. And I actually have that, like, I don't know if that's a better way to, it's probably a little too noisy. So I think this is actually a better way to view it. And so that's just for the one day for Thursday. And the end of the week is always going to be, especially with monthly contracts, monthly expiration, a lot more options activity going on because options are opening and closing and whatnot. But let's just go over the past 30 days. We can see stock price in yellow has been going up, net call premium shooting up here. And let's see, let's just go back the past 14 days. We can see those big spikes there. And so let's see on this. We did have, it looks like, some buys in the, let's see, this was June 1st. Yeah, so we had seen some open interest increasing over here, but then this is like 160. That's pretty crazy. And then it's since dropped by 100,000, and now all of them are closed because they expired. But yeah, it looked like there was a good amount of buying back there. Maybe if we go back 30 days, yep, we could see some buying. And then it, sold off and or will be getting exercised or were exercised. But yeah, just looking at those past 14 days. So that looks interesting, but it's behind us. The expiration is behind us. So it makes sense that that was getting sold. The next one that I have on here is the, the July 17th expiration for the $2 strike calls. And we also saw, like, over here, this big spike that was on the 4th corresponds with over here. And that was like $1.5 million. So that looks pretty good. And, as this has been going up, the stock or the premium has been going up in yellow. Man, it's, you don't want to be too greedy with stuff, but I had been trimming. I had some of these calls I had been trimming. I only have one left. And it's like, man, I should have just waited. But as you can see here, you have all of the trimming that's been going on. Open interest, let's see, going back to, that was the 4th. open interest increased to over 88,000. Now it's at 66,000. But prior to that, you know, after the 4th, it was at 70,000, about 69, nearly 69,000. It's still right around there. So I think this is probably going to continue to go higher. And so now we're going to get into a little bit of what I might do, because I do hold one of these calls, and I've been, you know, thinking I should sell it, take some profit, because it's not necessarily going to, you know, close in profit. But yeah, let's just look at this in the past 1 day, because looking at it over the past 14 days, sorry, we saw the highest point in the premium in yellow there yesterday. So let's look just in yesterday. And what we can see is the high was 94 cents. That's what I'm seeing on my phone. That's where I place my trades, like when I'm at work and stuff. And so I was thinking, I have one contract, average price of 27 cents. I wish I had more of them, of course, but that's how it goes. I try to lower the risk as things go up, and now I just have one of them. I was thinking, well, you know, I could sell it at Friday's high at 94 cents, but let's see. I think it's probably going to go higher. But also, you know, in managing that risk, maybe it would be a good idea to trim to exit that, but then maybe I could buy it back, not at 27 cents, but a little bit higher. I'm not really sure. For that, I'm not thinking about selling. Well, I guess I'm thinking about selling it at 94 cents, but this premium can get up to, you know, the dollars. I mean, because this is a $2 strike call where we hit a high of 290, so that's basically 90 cents or $90 as far as the premium goes above. And so I think I could make some money with this. But if it goes up towards 4, I think I can make like $200 or turn $27 into 200. So I'm probably just going to hold this. I'm not at risk of losing money because my cost was 27. So I'm just going to hold that and chill. I'm actually going to look over at my little spreadsheet. I think my screen probably just got a little bit lighter. Okay, and so yeah, I just need to think about this. And one of the things, I don't have it up here, but I did have a $1.50 strike call that I had sold as a covered call. I rolled it. And I rolled it for a cost of $100 for the $3 strike call. So I'm going to want to pull that up, and we can look at that. And so this is the one that I want to add there. And so this looks healthy. This looks healthy. This looks insane. I can't see, for whatever reason, it's not telling me if people are watching. I see that there are about 4 people watching, so that's good. Let's see, coming back to this. I like this a lot. Why do I like this a lot? We see open interest increasing for the $3 strike call. So it's like, you know, market makers, let's just do, you know, some psychology, some trying to understand this. Max Pain, you know, it was here at $1. Market makers trying to keep price at or below that, and then we start to pop. I have to say, looking at the increases in the premium on that $3 strike call, I'm pretty effing bullish. Just looking at this data. I wasn't so much looking at the $2 strikes. But you have the Max Pain here, flat line at $1. Price goes up. Market makers say, okay, we're not going to get it back down to 1. Now 150. And by market makers, I effectively mean what people are betting on. And that means that market makers collect the most premium. Retail loses most premium if price closes around Max Pain. And so that's driven by, you know, what the market's doing, and then market makers make that happen. And they want to make the most money, so they want to drive price back to Max Pain. And so now that's at 150, but you know, it's like here, the gray line, that's the stock price coming down, Max Pain, but then it goes up. And what does max pain do? It follows it. Then we see it cool off. Max pain follows it. I think max pain is going to go up to 2, but I think we're going to see like kind of stair steps going up. So how can I'm going to take a screenshot. This is going to be kind of a little experiment. Oops, of what I would actually, I think maybe this is too much of a distraction for me to like actually draw it out. But I see stock price go up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up, consolidate. And while that's happening, max pain doing the same thing, but trailing it. And so Bruce is saying, I would hold. Next week is going to be big. I agree. I think AMC looks really good. I'm telling you, Toy Story is going to be absolute numbers. So I think that for me, like as far as that stuff goes, great for the company. But to me, I mean, like there have been big movies like Hail Mary was big. I imagine Toy Story will be bigger, but like there will be big movies. I'm like, that's good fundamentally for the company, but what we're looking at here is like market mechanics. So it's like here when price was coming down, max pain was pushing it lower. Price tries in gray, tries to go above max pain. Max pain pushes it lower. And then max pain gets lower, pushes it lower. Now we're doing the opposite where the stock price is being followed by max pain. And so like regardless of the numbers that Toy Story does, which I think will be, that creates a narrative. Actually, yeah, I mean, as far as the mechanics go here, I mean, this is driven by, the market's driven by buyers and sellers, but what's something that, a Jim Cramer or, CNBC or whatever could be talking about that would maybe get not necessarily retail, like not degen retail, but like regular retail, like mom and pops or whatever. What would make them think, oh, AMC is a good buy? It could be things like Toy Story performing well. And then we have all of the degens, loaded into contracts or whatever, shares, whatnot. And then, mom and pop see, hey, Toy Story was good. Saw that with the kids. Also, Jim Cramer and CNBC is talking about how AMC is making this recovery. They're doing really well. Maybe I want to buy some. And then it's like, you have to create, like there are different stages of sheep sort of, or herds. And like there are different herds. There's a herd that's already there. And then there's the herd that's going to come and, push it up more. You always need to have buyers if you want stuff to be going up. So I think that's really interesting aspect of it. Got 1,700 shares, no contracts. I wish. Contracts are risky. I mean, I lost money yesterday on Bitmine immersion contract and some other obscure contract. It was just one, but ended up losing some money on that, which is disappointing. Contracts are risky. For me, I just really like the data, and it helps me with, like I need to be in and out of things. Otherwise, I'll just sit and hold forever. And like, I don't want to be doing that. I want to be doing this more active. So this can be my job rather than my job, because my job sucks. And that won't happen if I'm just sitting in things, although there are some things that I'm just sitting in. But anyways, AMC here, max pain, just looking really good. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the $2 strike call that expires next month. We do see a lot of selling here, okay? People are taking profits on this. Managing risk, I think that makes sense. But if we look at the big picture here, let's look at the big picture. So let's take a step back. 14 days. 14 days here, so they match. This big spike here, that was, at least in part, for the $2 strike call that expired yesterday. And so people, load in that, and it's like, well, let's also do some later dated ones. And that's where we see the spike over here. And actually, let's see, what was the candle? $1 million candle premium there. And so this went up by 1.5 million. So yeah, that makes sense. That matches. But we do see this decreasing. Why? Because it's in the money, deep in the money. Strike of $2 and it's getting close to 3. But if we do scroll back to the 4th, on that day, there was only 13,000 contracts open, but then it increased because of the buys here to 68, 69,000. It then continued up with all of the green candles here in this range, or all of the green, I should say. There's green and red, but all of the green there suggesting buying. And you see open interest go up to a maximum of 88.3 thousand contracts open. And so right now we're lower than that, but we're right around where we were after this big day. So that tells me this move's not over. And so while one could be trimming to take risk off the table, I've already trimmed. I've already taken risk off the table with this specific contract. I've just got one left. I should hold it. I should YOLO with it. YOLO. It's just one contract, cost me 27 bucks, so no big deal. But I think this could be going up to $2. And so why not hold that? Put 27 cents times 100 shares per contract, $27. Why not turn that into $200, which would be $2 per contract times 100 shares per contract, $200. So I'm intrigued by that. That makes sense to me. I have a little notepad here. I'm going to use it. And this is what date? The 19th. Okay, so AMC, I'm just going to write for the $2 717 call. Let's see. Actually, I'm writing this sloppy. I need to be a little more neat. AMC $2 call for 717. And I'm just going to say $2. And actually, what I'm going to do, I don't even need to put it in my notepad. I can just place the order. So what I'm going to do, not financial advice or anything, I'm just going to place the order to sell this. And then I can forget about it if I'm at work. Sometimes I'm busy at work. I work with chemicals, so sometimes I'm wearing gloves. I can't be touching my phone. So good to just place orders, set and forget. And so my thesis is that price could be going up to $4. If it goes up to $4, that's effectively a premium of $2 on a $2 strike call, because 2 plus 2 is 4. And that makes sense to me. I could probably make more money with it, but that's, I'm not just going to be holding it forever. I like that a lot. I'm excited about that. Okay, and then this $3 strike call, this is the one that I had rolled my $1.50 strike call to the $3 strike call for next month. And the reason why I did that is because it cost me $100. So it's basically like, if I would have closed out, let that contract expire at $1.50, given the premium that I collected before, which was 70 cents times 100 shares per contract is $70. I would have collected $1.50 plus 70 cents is $2.20. I would have effectively been selling my shares at $2.20. I said, no, I'm going to put in $100 and say that I'd rather sell at 3, because if I would have effectively sold at 220, I put in 100, so that's like 120. Anyways, the math. But if I would have sold, let's forget about the math, the premium, how much I spent on it, whatever. I would have been forced to sell at $1.50. I said, well, I'd rather spend $100 rolling this to a $3 strike call that might force me to sell it at $3 on July 17th. And if that happens, then rather than selling 100 shares at $1.50, which it would have happened yesterday, I'd be selling 100 shares at $3 minus the $100 that I spent on it, so that would effectively be selling 100 shares at $2 rather than $1.50. So that made sense to me. And then also gives me the flexibility, the option to roll this again or you know, I could buy it back if I want, if we see a dip. So that's something to think about. But yeah, I mean, we just see all this open interest here, all this volume here picking up. What is it over here? Net call premium got up to, you know, over $1 million. So that's looking exciting. If we look at this over the past 30 days, I mean, it's kind of a mixed signal with the red here, but we're seeing open interest increase. It could be people selling covered calls. I mean, I effectively sold this covered call yesterday, bought back my $1.51, sold this one. So there could be some of that. And that would make sense. And we just look at the green volume on the ASK side. That's, let's see, that's about half. So it's about $700,000. You know, that suggests this is long. And then also if we go back a whole 90 days, yeah, I mean, this is just starting to pick up. This is just starting to get exciting. Let's actually do 30 days and 30 days over here. So they match. Yeah, so I mean, what we're seeing is effectively we're seeing like the effective rolling, I should say, of lower premium calls. I just talked about one rolling the $1.50 to the $3 strike. But we're seeing that effectively with these $2 strike calls decreasing in the open interest as we see increasing open interest in higher strike calls. So that's good. We want to be seeing that. I'm excited about this. I like that. Another contract that I want to look at, which is one that I've sold covered call on, and I'm actually going to consider, how do I want to consider rolling these? So sorry, my screen's a little white now on my face, but I'm just looking over at a spreadsheet, thinking about, let's see what I'm going to do here. And I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this while I'm streaming, but let's see. Okay, I'm just going to switch the location of a row in my spreadsheet, excuse me. And so hopefully I'm referencing some previous cells, so just want to make sure this is not too okay, let's see. I do this every week. I'm kind of a nerd, but it helps me keep track of what I'm doing. Yeah, so like what I have here. Oh yeah, because I had, let's see, no, I'm confused. Oh, okay. Yep. Hey, Benjamin, what's up? A lot of debt is getting paid, and that speaks to investors. Yeah, for sure. Bruce talking about AMC. Coin is just saying, I only sell covered calls and sell cash secured puts. I never buy options. I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. Leered. Have you leered? Yeah, I've definitely learned my lesson as well. I mean, I bought calls. I lost a decent amount of money yesterday, but that's part of the process. Part of the market is winning some and losing some. And I think, like, you know, it's like you make a trade, you feel good, you get overly confident, then you lose money. And then you hopefully learn from that. It humbles you, and then you get back on your feet, and then hopefully you're making, you know, stair steps up. But let's see. So I'm really confused. What contracts do I have? What contracts have I sold covered calls on for AMC? And let's see. Okay, so I've sold a $2.50 strike call, a $3.50 strike call, and a $3 strike call. Oops, excuse me, for next month. And based on the premium that I've collected, for the, I just need to make sure I'm doing this math right, but this kind of is factoring into my decision. So Let's see. Okay, so for the $2.50 strike call, which is my lowest strike call that I've sold a covered call on, I had, let's see, I've been rolling this apparently for some time. And so initially I had sold a $2.50 strike covered call to collect a premium of 5 cents, which is just $5, so nothing too exciting. That expired yesterday. And so from that, I took, let's see, $5, $2.50. So that's effectively selling 100 shares at $2.55. But then last week, I rolled that, collecting 15 cents in premium. So that would be like selling shares at, let's see, 15 cents. So that's like 20. So it's like 270. And so I have that noted in my spreadsheet. 270. Clearly, I think that it could be going higher. And so last week I didn't get a fill on that. And so I should probably just list this. I'm just doing a little bit of spreadsheet organization. And so let's see. Where do I think this could be going? And what is the premium that I could collect if I were to roll that to August? So I'm just looking at on my phone. And I should note this is what I'm talking about, so you guys have some stuff to see. $2.50 strike call for this month. We do see it increasing, but maybe it's starting to sell a little bit. And so I kind of want to roll this then, is what I'm thinking, to, let's see, $2.50 AMC strike call, but for August. So let's just search here. Premium, 250, August. So this one, let's look at that. This is also increasing. So I think that I can be greedy with this and say, looking at the chart, I think price could go up to around $4. Let's not get too crazy. Let's just say $4. And so if, based on the premium that I've collected so far, I've effectively sold these shares, if it closes in the money, if I get assigned at $2.70. So I think that, you know, $1.30 above that is $4. So I think my limit sell on this to roll it should be $1.30, and my math is correct in my spreadsheet. That is $4. So I'm just going to make sure I have this. Sorry, and this video is like all on. Let's see. Can I modify this order? I had 50 cents placed there. I think I can do better. I think I can do 130. And that would be effectively selling shares at $4. We'll see. Okay. And then the next one, sorry, this is just stuff that I need to organize for myself, is the $3 strike call. Let's see. I had rolled that last week, which would be also to 270. Oh wait, no, that's because 270 because I just rolled the 150 to 3 that cost me $100. And so I would want to make my limit also be 130. And that should be 821. And then let's see. Screwing this up. Okay, wait a second. Okay, there we go. All right, and so that would be another one that would effectively be selling at $4 a share. And then now I need to place that roll order. So let's see. That was for $3 one, a $3 strike call. So create a rolling order. And this is going to be for the $3 strike call for August 21st. And right now I just get 20 bucks. I want to get 130. And so that's betting that price will go higher, but once price does go higher, I would think it would stop around 4 bucks. And so that's what I'm going to do there. And so let's see. The other contract that I have is the $3.50. Well, the $3. Okay, I need to add all of these. $3 for August. That one's on there. That's higher up on the list, so that seems a little appealing. And then $3.50 for August. September. $3.50 August right here. Not as exciting there. But yep, I've got all this AMC stuff to look at. Okay, so $2.50 for July, increasing. $3 for July, increasing. $2.50 for August. Also, same with $3.50 for August. This is new, it seems like. It's just started to get some action, or maybe it's a new contract. It looks like it's a new contract that was created June 3rd, and so that means that they're really, trying to keep price down by adding new contracts. But that's good because price is going up and they're failing to keep price down. And we just see the open interest on this increasing. So that's good. And I will roll to some of these people if they want it. So I should have all of those orders placed. And then I just need to adjust over here in my little spreadsheet. 350. I have screwed some stuff up. Okay, so that didn't fill. So I've effectively sold those shares. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so 363. Because I had sold one of those contracts. I'm just looking at my little spreadsheet. I had sold one for 3 cents. So that would have been 353. Then I had sold another one for 10 cents. That's 363. So that makes sense. And then now, if I were to sell the shares at 4 bucks, that would be a premium of 37 cents. So I could actually, oops, I screwed something up in Excel. I hate it when Excel's like, oh, did you mean to do this? It's like, no, I didn't mean to do that. Just leave me alone. I understand there's a problem with the formula. No, like, Excel, you don't know what I'm trying to do. Oh, it's because I didn't delete. Okay, and so if I have a limit sell for that one, create a rolling order to August, 350, 14 cents. But then I could continue to roll this, you know, so it's no big deal. So this would be 37 cents. I think I could do 50. I'll just do 37. Well, I'll leave it at, yeah, I'm going to leave it at 50. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I got these orders. 50 cents. So yeah, I'll do 50 cents. And so that would effectively be selling my shares at $4.13. So that's nice. And those orders are placed. So I know you guys can't see it, but I'm just noting. And I got those orders placed there. And then the other contract, this is another one that I have. I have a bunch of these, but I have been trimming. This is the $5 strike call for January. We've seen some mixed signals up and down. Nothing super crazy with this one, but let's see. I have one of these, at least one of these, in my Robinhood account, which is my smaller one. I have 11 of these contracts at an average price of 35 cents. And I have a limit sell order placed at 60 cents. And so let's see, what was the range that this did yesterday? The low was 41 cents, 37. I think that it could pull back to 35. I don't need to get ahead of myself. I don't need to be increasing my average. So what I'm going to do is just place a buy order to get one more contract at 35 cents. So that because I have been trimming as it goes up, and then I just buy back if it goes lower, that's no problem. Then I just add more because I have been trimming, taking profits. Then I could buy more aggressively if it goes lower than my average, or I'll just, you know, buy one more at that level. So I think that's good. I feel fine about that. And I'm actually just going to, I keep track of all of the math and stuff. So on my phone matches what's in my Excel. So that's good. Okay, yeah, but I mean, I think that this is totally reasonable to come back to 35 cents, but if it does keep going higher, that's fine. Trim 3 contracts at 60 cents, and then beyond that, I don't think I have any more. Limit orders placed. But I could, I mean, if my average is 35 cents, I could sell 3 more at 70. And then that's, well, I'm just going to make sure rounding it might be lower than that. I do see the chat there, so I'll pull it up in a second. Let me just see. What am I looking at? Oh, I just want to see the percentage. Oh, this is my, yeah, AMC. Yeah, so 70%, 70 cents is 100%. And so I just sell 3 of them there. Just to be trimming, taking a little bit of profit. Okay, and then after that trim, that would be selling 6. I'd still have 5 contracts, and if things are going crazy, maybe I'd, you know, buy back a contract or something. If I don't think it's going back to 35, but I think it could be cooling off soon. So, or, you know, I mean, there's plenty of time between now and January. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I mean, I think price is going up that way. And so the chat, I'll just pull this over here so I'm not looking to the side. Let's see. Let's see. Coinage. Oh, wait. Oh, no, coinage. No worries. No, I just like the Nick Shirley stuff with Leered. So I couldn't tell if it was an N or an R. The text that I read is sometimes small, especially if I'm looking over to the side. And Benjamin, what are my thoughts on OWLT? I'll look at it real quick, but I'm not really going to be taking too many requests just because I've got a bunch of stuff I need to go through. But I'll do a quick look just to see if options data stands out as suggesting the stock could be bullish. Do I think I could cover Dogecoin? Yeah, I could definitely go over Dogecoin. So I can do OWLT and Doge real quick. Smash the like button is what Orion says. So yeah, definitely do it. And Orion has, it looks like 6,510 AMC, 600 GameStop hodling or hodling. I never know which way to pronounce it. I think hodling. Yeah, so nice work with that. I guess a couple years ago, I think maybe it was 3 years ago, maybe it was a couple years ago, learned a hard lesson with covered calls with GameStop, and I ended up getting rid of some shares, I think in profit, but it was right before a big move. And I still have a position. I did sell a covered call because I needed some cash, and it's a long dated one. I'm hoping to buy it back this week for $500. I sold the covered call to get $600. It doesn't expire until 2028, I think December 2028. But I was just like, I had to pay, I don't know if it was taxes or some bills or something. I think it was some bills, and I need, yeah, it was just like kind of a tight time. I had to do taxes to get cash, but I didn't want to do taxes. So hey, this seems like a nice idea. And so I sold a GameStop covered call for strike of 27, which I think price will be a lot higher than that. But I sold a covered call so I could get $600 to pay whatever bills. I paid the bills, and now I want to buy back those shares or buy back that contract for $500. So I'd have netted $100 on that. But I'm just waiting. I have a limit order placed. I'm just waiting for it to fill. But yeah, I mean, I wish I had more GameStop. I wish I had more AMC. But at the same time, I am enjoying the trading more of things like that. That really stimulates me. Going over all this data, that we're looking at really gets me excited. So, but yeah, let's look over at Benjamin's request, which is OWLT. So I'll pull that up real quick. OWLT, outlet. So I would say, in my opinion, this doesn't really look that good, but I don't know anything about it. Just because, like, if, let's say, draw Fibonacci retracement, I mean, it's getting pretty close to the 786 around $4. But let's see. I mean, to me, this looks like, big gap down. This is kind of like I mean, what I would think, I'll just doodle it out, is that, you could get something like this, and then maybe a gap up, and then, something like that. But it also could be a bear flag. So I'm not really sure. And whenever doing requests, it's like, I can't really put it into too much context because I don't understand it that well. So, I mean, I don't know enough about it. So it's kind of tough to say. Let's see, market cap, 145 million. I don't know if you can see that behind me. Let's see. It's the market cap. You can't see it behind me because, yeah, well, let's see. I can remove myself for a second. The market cap, as you can see, is only 145 million. That's, there's chat there. Cool, and that's all your guys' chat, but I didn't know it was blocking the view. So it's been a while since I streamed. But yeah, okay, so let's see. Market cap, 145 million. It's pretty small. I don't know, speculative. So I'd be cautious. Let's see. And, but let's look at options data real quick. Owlet. Okay, so what I like to do when I do this, it's always organized by highest volume. I like to look at the most premium. The most premium is 10,000. It's a call that expires next month, but there's really not much going on with this. So like what you're seeing with AMC and what you've seen with GameStop and stuff in the past, you see like these big moves to the upside. That's because of leverage due to options. There isn't really that much going on with options for the stock. It doesn't really look too exciting. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, why? Why does one need to hold? It's consumer durables like electronics, appliances. I don't know anything about them. And it's like, when trading, you can also think of it as an investment. Why is one doing it? To me, there's no reason. So this is not one that I would participate in. But yeah, I mean, and also, yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, it seems like too much of a gamble to me, but it could do like I had doodled and get back up to 850, maybe 17 up here. I have no idea. But yeah, it seems like a gamble. The options data aren't telling me anything. There's nothing that really stands out. So I personally would avoid. Whether it's to the upside or downside, I don't know enough about it. And then crypto stuff. Let's pull up Dogecoin. I'll actually pull up Doge over here. I think this has more doodles and it has all the data. This is from Binance. I have Dogecoin. Oops, did not mean to doodle that. And to be honest, I buy Dogecoin every day. Since it's below my average, I forget what my average is, but 8 cents is definitely below my average. 10 cents is below my average. And so I'm just adding $5 a day, I believe, to Doge. And that adds up. It doesn't seem like much. It's not exciting. But what I've found with crypto is if I have a long-term bullish thesis, whether it goes up or down, doing something like $5 a day is easy. And I just do that through Robinhood. Does it every day for me. And so ones that I am dollar cost averaging or continuing to buy, Bitcoin, I'm doing $20 a day now. I do that with the Strike app. And this could be coming down to 50,000. That's fine. I get it. No big deal. Ethereum, I think I'm doing $5 a day. No, $10 a day. I think I'm doing $10 a day for Ethereum. Yep. In my opinion, it's a great time to add to ETH. He was right considering this, but we're below that now. So not really. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, I mean, I totally nailed the bottom here. I just wasn't super aggressive with it. And I thought it was going to go up higher than it topped here for Ethereum. But yeah, I'm just doing $10 a day with that one. Solana, I'm also doing daily buys, $5 a day. Interesting. I'm not sure when I drew that. Oh, I probably just drew that as, last Sunday when I tend to go over my crypto stuff. Higher, low. And this is lower high, or lower low. So that's hidden bullish divergence. Probably doesn't mean anything. Doge, I'm doing $5 a day. And I have these ordered in my exposure to them. So like I have the most amount of my money invested into Bitcoin. I might be more up or down in some of these. But as far as what I've put into them, I put the most into Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then Solana, Doge, so on. RLC is one that I put a decent amount into. But I'm not putting any more into it because I need to get my other ones up. Other ones that I'm DCAing into on a daily basis. Cardano, I think I'm doing $10 a day. Litecoin, $5 a day. Ondo, I wasn't. But then it really started to surprise me. And so I'm doing, I think, $8 a day. Oh, and to keep Litecoin above Ondo, I'm doing $8 a day with Litecoin. Link, I'm doing $5 a day. And Fartcoin, I'm very tempted to buy down here, but I'm not. And then beyond that, and I think I'm doing $5 a day with Pengu. Other than that, I was doing it with Trump. I think I was doing $1 a day. but then it just started to put in lower lows continually. And then so at this line, it's like, well, I'm not going to be doing any more DCAing until it reclaims 271. And so maybe I missed the bottom here at 150, but maybe it goes to $1 and I'll be happy I wasn't continuing to dollar cost average. XLM I had previously held, but I don't hold anymore. It's really taken off. I had previously held AVE and Loop Ring, but they started to really kind of underperform, and so I swapped them. I think I swapped AVE for Pepe and Loop Ring for Uniswap, but I'm not really sure. It could be the other way around. And that's why Uniswap and Pepe are higher up here. I'm not dollar cost averaging into those or anything. But yeah, that's kind of a little crypto ramble there. And so let's get back to the list here. And so the next one is, oops, sorry, bumped the mic. I'm going to drink some water. And so I don't lose track of the chat and stuff. Got it on the side here. Yeah, so for Strive, this is ticker symbol ASST. Mike Alfred's talked about this a lot. This is one that, let's see, I had been accumulating, actually, no, let's see. I don't think I've been doing anything too aggressive with this. Oh, 1313, I had that marked as a level of interest, just as an alert. Let's see the, I think that's 100-day simple moving average is at 1285. So yeah, I mean, it could be going down to 1313. The low on June 5th was 1339. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to leave an alert at 1313, see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, let's look at some options data. Maybe there's something over here that stands out that's telling me, hey, this is going to move, whether it's to the upside or the downside. And so let's just look at sort this by premium. That's how I like to do it. Whereas, you know, lots of money, the most money traded on this yesterday, only $159,000, so nothing too crazy. This is for the January 2028 call, $20 strike call, pretty out of the money. But really what I want to see is just the data over here. Over the past 30 days, nothing really stands out. So it's like, I don't think there's going to be a huge move to the upside or downside. I have no idea. The data is not telling me that, so I'm not really too crazy about it or anything. I don't need to be buying. I don't need to be selling. And let's just look at the data over here. Max pain for yesterday was 15. Where do we close? Below 15. Really just been hanging out around max pain. And that's probably because it's skewed over here because of the reverse split or whatever. 1650 for next month. Hey, Karim, what's up? I'm just going over some options data, stuff like that. And so let's see. Strive. Yeah, I mean, it's not really screaming too much to me. And let's see, looking at the chart and checking out my average, is this something that I might want to be trimming at? Okay, so my average is 1773, which is sad. I only have 13 shares, so nothing crazy. But we had hit a high on Monday, it looks like, of 1757. So I'm saying 1313. Maybe it doesn't do a lower low. What was the low on Thursday? 14. I can just chill. So I'm just gonna keep an alert that I have on it at 1313. If it goes below, it gets my attention. If not, I'm just chilling. So I'm not worrying about it. And then so the next one on the list is going to be backed. This is one I've done some analysis that I've posted on X. And I was thinking it was going to back test this and go higher. That's not what happened. Broke through both parts of the channel, back tested, and now it looks like it's just consolidating there. Maybe it's going to get rejected and go down. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to go up. I'm not sure. And so, yeah, let's look at some contracts over here. So 15, this is one, I think I have one of these. Stupid of me to have gotten it. I'm probably going to lose money. I think I just have 80 bucks on it. 80 bucks, and I would sell at 90, and it's at 15. And so, you know, what I want to see is kind of like, you know, big thing over here, spike, but that's only, it's not $1 million. It's $304,000, and it's net put premium going up. So that means that that's not really so good as far as the stock goes. So this one, not bullish, not bearish. I'd say more bearish, if anything. And so, let's see, my average is 1072. Not a huge position. And I have an alert for this at 750. I don't know that that's going to get hit, but I can also just chill with it. And considering that's a large, well, actually, yep, that's larger than my strive position. So, yeah, I mean, if I'd want to get that, yeah, I mean, I can just chill. The data's not telling me anything here, so I don't need to worry about it. Backed. Don't need to be chasing stuff if stuff's not moving. And so max pain for yesterday was $9, closed above max pain. Max pain for next month or next week is 10. So, yeah, I'm not seeing anything too crazy just from over here. And actually on this day, yeah, net put premium dropped by 300,000 over here. You can't see it, it's off the chart, it comes down to here. But yeah, I mean, it's not like millions of dollars, so it's nothing too crazy. Nothing that stands out too much. Benjamin saying, what are my thoughts on VERI? I'm not going to do any more requests because I've been streaming for 22 minutes, and I just, like, there's no... Like, I don't, like, there's no quality perspective in just, like, looking at something. And, like, I have no idea it's going to go up or it's going to go down. But I'll do it real quick. This just put in a lower low. Doesn't look good. So I would avoid. Very... Most premium traded, 2,000 bucks. This is one to avoid. I think it's going lower. But yeah, let's come back to BitMine. Speaking of ones going lower, this is depressing. So let's see, what do I have for my little weekly thing? I added last week at 1590 and 1550. It's currently at 1614, so that makes me feel good. The low yesterday was 1544, so I very nicely bought that dip. Just one share, nothing crazy. But yeah, 1550. Let's look at the data. What's the data telling us? Bearish, bullish? I'm not really seeing anything that's like, what I want to see is these green lines shooting up. And it's like, well, that's interesting. But we have seen, if we look at the past couple days, we have seen the green line or the red lines coming down. This is coming down by 5.3 million. That could be suggesting a bottom's near. Whereas yesterday saw net put premium come down by 700,000 over the past 7 days. Yeah, mixed, because we saw net call premium coming down over here. by 3.2 million. 5.3 million 2 days ago. Net put premium coming down. So that's interesting. That's making me think maybe this is bottomed. And yeah, the contract that I was holding was not the $21 strike call. And I can, yeah, I'm going to remove the AMC one there. I'm just trying to clean this up. It was not this one, sadly. It was this one, the $25 strike call. And yeah, so these are duds. 30, very much a dud. Glad I didn't have that one. But this one, maybe this one's interesting. 23, that expires in August, so 2 months between now and expiration, but maybe not. Maybe it's a bad one. I don't know. The charts, the data here is not screaming it's going up, but it's suggesting, hey, maybe it could be finding a bottom. So with this, I had bought the dip at 1590, 1550. My average is 2018. I got 20 shares, so nothing too crazy. But this is making me think that maybe I want to buy another dip at 1550. Or maybe I don't want to be greedy. No, 1550. Compromise is a compromise. I was thinking I wouldn't place a buy order. And it's like, no, well, I mean, it seems like it could be bottoming. So maybe I'll place a buy order at 1550. And I'm like, well, if it only went to 1544 before, maybe it's not going to go all the way down to 1550 again. Maybe I won't get a fill. So I was thinking maybe I do. I'm going to do that. No, well, crypto is not really looking so great over the weekend. So I'm thinking 1569. It's 19 cents more. Do I really care about 19 cents? No. And I'm never going to have big positions if I only buy one at a time. So I'm going to do 1569. Just one. And maybe I'll adjust this. I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, that's potentially interesting. I mean, everybody's so bearish on MicroStrategy, on Bitcoin, all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, maybe this is a double bottom. I don't know. I did have, you know, higher lows, lower lows, then broke down. Now it's lower lows. So yeah, I'm not too crazy about this one. But I just have, you know, some data here for me to be able to look at. And let's see. Let's go to BMNR and see what was max pain. 17 bucks, closed below it. Next week, 17. Yeah, so I'm not too crazy about it, but I should be adding it. This is one that I've been trimming out of. Don't tell Cantonese Cat or Mike Alfred. But I still have a position. It's very small. But I think what I might want to do, I mean, because what do we see here? We see new all-time highs. But also, let's remove the drawings and let's put this on the weekly. Out of curiosity, what do we see? Higher highs, lower highs, lower volume. So I think that this could be topping soon. And if this could be topping soon, good to be taking some profits. And then I could buy back more aggressively on the pullback. Having made profit on the way up, trimmed up, I can add back in down. I think that's totally fine. But I think this is, you know, looking at this on the weekly with the higher highs, lower volume. I mean, lower volume, you're getting a result. Let's say that volume steps in, you're really going to get the result. Or, you know, this is saying that there aren't buyers up here. Otherwise, you'd have volume. And so this could be coming down. This is CIFR, by the way, CIFR. Sorry if I just kind of glossed over that. But yeah, let's come back to the daily, put the drawings back up, and let's think about this. So, I mean, this is gonna, CHWY. CHWY is one that I want to look at, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. But CIFR, trimming out of the 20 calls. It's at 29. Makes sense to be trimming out of that. September 30th. Yeah, I mean, but look at this. Oh my gosh. What do we see over here? Let's do the 1 day. $9.9 million net call premium going up. How could you not be bullish on this? Oh my gosh. This is insane. Sorry, I bumped the mic. So what I want to do, I want to explore some contracts. Because, you know, we're seeing buys here, but nothing too crazy. $3.5 million yesterday on this contract, though. 5,500. It's the 30. But it's, you know, to buy it, it's like $500 to $600. It's a lot of money. This one, I've traded it, and I should have just held on to it because I don't know if I traded this one specifically, but that's a lot of money. Okay. Let's see, 22 over here. Nothing too crazy. CIFR 17. It's trimming. Those are probably contracts I don't really like. Why did I start following those? This is why I started following that. This was on the 5th of June, $7.2 million. And that was at an average fill of 1068. Now it's at 15, 13 to 15. That's pretty high. That's a lot of money. So that's interesting. These are too expensive for me. Too expensive for me. So let's look at, you know, what was a lot of premium traded today on CIFR. Oh my gosh, 35 million. That's insane. That's big money, dude. Oh my God. That's insane. $35 million. It's a lot of money. Hey, Chess Dad, what's up? I am just going over some options data for CIFR right now. And oh my God. Basically is my response. Oh, that's a $15 strike call, so very deep in the money. Expires in December. $35 million on it, though. Premium for it, average $1,600 per contract, basically. That's too much money for me, for something that could go to zero. But that's insane. And yeah, and the next one is the $30 strike call that expires in September. Other ones that are like, this is getting too close for comfort for me. It's just a month away. So yeah, I mean, I need to avoid stuff that's just a month away because emotions will get the best of me. But let's see, this 40, okay, yeah, let's think about these other options. I think options are so cool because when you talk about them, you end up using the word option or options, you know, just explaining them. You have all of these options. That's why they're called options. It's so cool. Anyways, $40 strike call that expires in January. Seems maybe a little bit more reasonable. It's further out of the money, but it's, wow. Still, you know, the low was $500 or $5 times 100 shares per contract. That's a lot of money for me. But, you know, there's plenty of time. So maybe that's, I don't know. That's too pricey for me. But still in the, oh, and this is also fun, still in the $1 million category over here for premium, traded yesterday. The August strike, or the August expiration for the $42 strike. I mean, you get one of those for under $300, so that's kind of intriguing. But, you know, we just saw like a big move. So I'm going to add this one to my list. I'm going to add this one to my list. This is not all on the ask side though. This one is 25 for September. I'm just going to be watching CIFR so much. I don't think I want to be trimming my shares. I don't have that many. But at the same time, profit's profit. And if you don't walk away with it, you might walk away with nothing. Do this one as well, 42. Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, wow. I feel like shares are going to be a safer bet for sure. Because, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking with this. Let's look at the data. Why don't I have any June? Or July, I mean, July contracts. There's one July. Oh my gosh. Just insane. Let's search this again, sort by premium, all of those. Why do I not have this one on the list? It's just a lot of, I'm not as interested in that one. It's an odd number. 442, that's like 420, so it's fun. But yeah, let's just look at some of the data here. This looks like a mixed bag, you know. There's been some selling. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, and some of the people like Mike Alfred, he's got a lot of money. So there's a $15 here, 35 million. To me, that's an insane amount of money. To somebody like him, that's just maybe him believing it, you know. So you gotta be aware of that. Let's just look at what happened over the course of that day. Oh my God, this looks insane. This looks insane. Yeah, open interest, 18,000. Volume yesterday, nearly 22,000. That's why you got the exclamation point there. That's just insane. I'm going to really want to follow up on this to see if that volume increased or the open interest increased. I bet it did. But that is just insane. And so for me, what I think I'm going to want to do with this, because I think long term, it's probably going to go up. So even if I increasing my average, I think that's fine. Oh, and maybe I do want to look at max pain for CIFR. Oh my gosh, just insane. Max pain yesterday was 19. See, yeah, I mean, maybe this is May. That's old news. Sold May 11th. Wait, no. Yep, that's a month ago. But yeah, 19 max pain and prices, what's price at 29? Oh my God. $10 above max pain. 50% above max pain. Insane. But yeah, let's see. I have an embarrassingly small position, but I was thinking that I would incrementally trim as I get up to my 100%, and then I'd still have some shares left over, but nothing too crazy. And so my average is 1741. Don't make fun of me. I only have 6 shares. I've been trimming on the way up. I'm sure I'm going to regret it, but I'm taking profits and I'm, you know, it is what it is. And so what I'm thinking is at 1714, just trimming one share at a time. So nothing exciting, but you know, I kind of struggle with, I end up being in the position of I don't ever sell. I buy and then I don't take profits, and then some things go low for a long period of time. And I need to get better at taking those profits and not being emotionally attached to my positions. But so for me with my position with CIFR, I'm going to do a trim and I'm going to do a buy. I had sold one share, very lame, at $29.60. That's a 70% gain for me. I'm just looking at this on a spreadsheet that you guys can't see just because I want to keep my numbers kind of private. But then the next 10% move would be to 80%. That's at $31.34. So I'm going to say I would trim at $31.34, which is nothing, just one share, but it's something. It's something for me. But then since I trimmed at $29.60, I don't want to buy that back at $29.60, but maybe I'd buy back the next 10% down, which would be at $27.85. $27.85. And so I just buy the one share back there. And so that's $27.85, $27.85. So I'll be doing a little bit of swinging. 10% up trim, 10% down buy. And if I get a fill and it goes up, then I'd adjust that to the 10% in between those two, what I had just sold at. $29.60, I believe it was. Okay, so nothing too crazy. And, for me, if it's boring, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll be beneficial in the end. And it's stacking little bits, brick by brick, So yeah, I'm excited to follow up on this contract to see, but yeah, let's look at the other contracts here. This doesn't look too crazy, but it's just too soon. It's too close for comfort for me, just a month out. This one's August. Look at this. This candle was, let's see. Candle premium, 700,000. And what did that do over here? Like nothing. It's $20 straight call for September. Nothing too crazy there. 25 for September. Hey, there's something. 2.3 million candle premium. But this is kind of pricey, between $6 and $9. It's times 100. That's a lot of money per one contract. That can go to zero. $30 strike call expiring in September. This one, I have to say, is interesting because this seems to correspond with the moves that you're seeing over here. And we do see generally increasing. Open interest of 9, volume of 5. So not as much, but this premium actually, the premium's still too much for me to be comfortable with it. A $22 strike call expires in November. That's really not that exciting. 15 insane. Maybe this is signal, maybe it's not. Let's look over the past 30 days. Something's going on. Let's do all 90. Hey man, yeah, something's going on. 17 expiring in January. It's nothing too crazy. 40 in January. Premium is still hundreds of dollars. Oh, and the 42. This is the one that I'm potentially interested in. Yeah, out of the money, multiple months between now and expiration. Come July, I'll be getting kind of nervous about it because I tend to not necessarily get nervous, but I don't manage like when the clock's ticking, But yeah, that's an interesting contract. I don't hold it, don't plan on buying it. But okay, I'm going to put it in my notepad. That's why I have it here. CIFR, $42 call that expires in August. So let's just do, what was the low? Yesterday on Thursday, 148. So that's interesting. Okay, And then now I'm going to want to look at CHWY. I don't hold a position in CHWY, but I did do a post on CHWY. Basically just pointing out that there's lower lows. Maybe that's a head and shoulders look, but I don't think it is one while there's being bullish divergence. Lower lows, higher lows. Don't see a lot of volume that suggests that there's buying of this. It has retraced to the 786 around 19. But let's just scroll down here. This is one that I do not hold, but I was just interested in it from last week. And yeah, I mean, continuing to put in lower lows, still bullish divergence. Let's see if the options data is telling anything about telling us anything about it. Over the past week, 7 days, net put premium increasing. So I'm not seeing anything really stand out. And that's net put premium increase of 6 million. That's a lot of money betting that this is going to go down. So I could see this continue to go lower. I don't think the bottom's in. And then let's just look over here at CHWY. 20 bucks, closed at 18. Next week it's 19. Maybe it could reclaim that, but I don't think this looks good. So I'm not interested in CHWY. Let's look at coin. This is one that, so kind of like what I like to do, and this is probably a really bad habit for a lot of people. What I like to do is open up zero APY credit, or wait, sorry, zero APR credit cards that for like the first 18 plus months, at least 12 months, zero APR. And then basically I put that cash that I would be spending and put it elsewhere. And in the past, I've not been so great about managing that. And so I end up basically the thing that I did with GameStop, selling a covered call to get some cash, which I'll buy back because I didn't want to spend interest on the credit card. That's what that situation was. Anyways, I've got a couple zero APR credit cards right now. One I just opened, another I think it's due in April. And so I'm setting that cash aside largely in Stretch, which is a strategy product, and then also strategy or MicroStrategy. Setting that aside, thinking that by April, those will be up. Maybe I'll be terribly wrong. I have no idea, but they're not super huge positions. And it's like every week, basically put $100 in. And so coin just looks really good. And so this is one that's kind of diverging from that. I bought the dip. I just have one share at $1 at 150. This has gone up. You know, I could have sold, made more than 10%. That's more than I'd get in like a savings account. But I'm just going to leave it in there and see, because I think that this could be, you know, a lot higher, hundreds of dollars higher. So I'm just going to kind of wait and see with this one. But yeah, I mean, move up, consolidate, maybe go higher. I'm not looking at contracts with coin, but we can look one up. Or not even necessarily look one up. Let's just look up the premium. Millions of dollars. So that's what you want to see, in my opinion. Stuff that expired yesterday, people closing out. There's going to be a lot of volume on that. A lot of premium exchanged. No big deal. Let's just look at this one at the top, $2.9 million. This expires this coming Friday. Not yesterday, it was Thursday on the 18th. But looking at this, net call premium, net put premium coming down. This is not screaming anything to me. Let's look over the past month. A lot of noise. So, I mean, maybe I'll be getting more shares of coin below $150. So this is not anything too crazy to me. Max Pain was $165, closed below it. Next week it's 175. So it's really not looking too good until like July 10th when it's at 160. Price is right now above that. So yeah, this is one that I haven't really done too much analysis on this. Cantonese Cat covers it. He has a very long-term time perspective. So, I mean, I'm just not worried about it. If it goes below 150, then I'll reassess and maybe add more. One thing that he has talked about, I don't hold any of it, He's talked about the copper to gold ratio, and basically, you know, like gold is a store of value. Gold, though, has, I think I've got it up here, you know, just gone on, oh, let's see, this is, you know, pretty insane moves over the past, yeah, I mean, it's gone up a lot. But now it's kind of like pulling back, it's retracing. Copper is kind of expected to outperform, and that's because, you know, gold is a store of value, whereas copper is an industrial metal used in electrical stuff, whatnot. We're building data centers, energy infrastructure, all of this we need to be building. Price of copper is going to go up, and relative to gold, as gold is coming down, copper going up, copper is kind of more the safe haven. And so I find that interesting. I looked into some copper. But I don't really like holding ETFs because like you pay to hold the ETFs. And so I looked up some, I think I did some, I know I did some analysis that I posted over here. This is FCX. FCX. I didn't post about FCX. Crazy. Let's search copper. I don't know, that was from March. I don't know, I thought I had posted some analysis, but I can't seem to find it. That's no big deal. But yeah, I mean, I had done some analysis that FCX. I'm just going to scroll a little bit. Sorry, it shouldn't be too long ago that I did this. I'm not sure where it would be. Oh, here it is. Yeah, why? Okay, because I was replying. It was a reply and then I reposted. I don't know why it didn't come up. So this was just some analysis. Oh, okay, yes. Losing your virginity can wait, 100%. But this is just the monthly chart of FCX, which this is a, I believe a miner, or they deal with copper. And this is on the monthly trend line. Support here, flip to resistance, flip back to support. So I think we come down, but it is on the monthly, closed above over here. And then, you know, I think that it could be going up from the low here, which is in like 2020, probably March, going up to the high here and then down. The 100% extension is around 317 and current stock price is around 60. So yeah, I just said, am I stupid? Because I kind of drew everything out there, you know, bearish divergence with lower highs and higher highs. But then if you take a step back, lower highs, higher highs. Wait. Why did I do the or? Why did I do the or? I think it's like bearish divergence because it's like higher highs, or maybe this breaks out. I think that's what I was going with. And this breaks out, or question mark, maybe this breaks out because we did get, I think it was February close. you know, higher than the all-time highs of 63, 62, which were hit back in like 2008. So this seems like something's really breaking out. But I mean, note these arrows. This is one that I should add to my, hey, I'm going to buy a share or two of this. I just had an epiphany. This is one FCX that I should add. Because I think long term this could perform really well. I mean, that'd be funny if it goes this scenario and then by the time I need the money, it's down here at 40. That's funny. Oh man, hey man, it's gone up. When did I post that? I posted that on May 24th. What was it doing? Dude, I should have, like, this is how, like, one of the issues, if I'm intelligent, it'll take you a month to realize it. Because, like, it'll take me a month to realize, hey, I should have done something. I had a good idea. That was May 24th. Okay, so that was like right before May 26th when it had a low of 63. And then it went up and then it pulled back. I didn't take action. Had a low on Wednesday, June 10th, 61.73. I probably would have had a limit buy at 60 to be fair. But yeah, I mean, this looks like it could be bull flagging and breaking out. And so I think FCX at 69. Maybe I get one or two of those shares. Probably just one. Don't worry about it. See where it is a year later. That's, yeah, nothing emotional. Nothing emotional. I like that. Let's look it up over here, though. Does FCX have anything interesting going on? FCX. Saying CX sounds like you're saying sex with an accent. Premium. Millions of dollars. Calls. Hey. That was yesterday's, though. So, but 1.9 million expiring next month. Nothing too crazy. 30 days. Nothing too crazy. I don't know. But I could see just, get one share and just one. I'm going to write only one. Just see what happens. I'm intrigued by that. Okay. So let's continue on GLXY. This is one that I had posted about. I have 2 shares at $30 and I wanted to get a contract. And actually, I need to check what I got over here in my spreadsheet. GLXY, yes. Okay. Before I get to GLXY, I want to look at CleanSpark real quick because I wanted to add at 14. I had the opportunity over here. Actually, no, I think I had a limit buy order placed at 14. It hit a low of 14.06 on June 5th. I did not get a fill. It was just for 1 share, so nothing crazy. Maybe it was 10 shares, probably just 1 share. Now, lower highs. I don't know. I mean, everything's kind of going crazy in crypto, coming down. This one's holding up. I missed it. I'm not going to chase it. But let's look up CleanSpark here real quick before we get on to CLSK. Before we get on to GLXY Digital. Most premium traded yesterday, only 780,000. 768,000. All of these expired yesterday, so there's really nothing too crazy going on with them. This is expired, so take it with a grain of salt. But looking at this over the past 30 days, I mean, maybe it could still come down to 14. I think I've got an alert set at 14. I'm just going to check. my phone is responsive. CLSK. Oh, it's in my crypto. It's in my crypto tab. CLSK, I'm stupid. I do have an alert set at 14. So if it goes down to 14, I'll be alerted. But I'm not going to do anything with it. And I am going to adjust my little list here. I'm going to adjust CleanSpark. It goes alphabetically, with the next one being GameStop. So I can make this be GLXY Digital. And I do have a limit buy order placed at 29. For just one share. It's pretty lame. It's not very exciting. I'm boring. I'm sorry. I'm just adjusting this in my little spreadsheet. But I'm probably going to actually... No, I think I want more shares. But maybe I think it's going to pull back. Nick, what's up? First part of this video, I kind of extensively went over AMC. I imagine you're curious about that. I'd suggest checking that out. And so if you're tuning in, yeah, but I can go just because Nick, you're always so enthusiastic about AMC. Basically, I rolled a covered call. I spent $100 yesterday rolling a covered call, $1.50 strike, which would have closed in the money. Rolled it to next month, $3 strike. And so basically my thought process was, if I'd sell 100 shares at $1.50, I'd be willing to spend $100 to sell those same shares at $3 because then I'd net $50. I might have to roll that contract as well, but it seemed worth it to me. And even if price pulls back, I don't want to be selling any more shares, getting rid of any more shares. I've done enough of that. And the exercise I think was good. One account, I made money based on what I had sold. Some of the AMC traded. The other account, I lost money in trading. I would have done better if I had just held AMC. But that's how it goes, and I'm excited. I'm more stimulated by the market now, so I think it was worth it. But things that, ones that I was going over earlier, this expires next month, $2 strike call, red, suggesting selling of these, trimming of these. However, open interest is still very high, so I think it's going to go up. I have one of these calls, $2 strike, expires next month. I'm going to have a limit. I have a limit sell order placed at $2. So I turned $27, having bought one of these at 27 cents, turned $27 into 200. That seems feasible to me. Seems realistic. These other ones, I do have some limit. I've let's see, rolled some of these, or I'm rolling some of these. But what we see for the $2 strike call that expires next month, open interest is more or less consistently increasing. But we did see it dip a little bit yesterday. Or into yesterday. We'll see how it is next week. But generally, what we're seeing is contracts increasing in value. The strikes are increasing. $3 for next month. Look at that, just increasing open interest. $2.50 for August, just increasing open interest. So the dates are getting further out and the strikes are going higher. And so that's telling me the moves that we're seeing are just going to continue, but I think that we're going to be seeing legs up, cool off, legs up, cool off. And so I think that over the next couple of weeks, we might get a little bit of a cool off with AMC. I think it could pull back to 250, but I don't think it'd go much lower than 250 if it does pull back. Maybe it comes back to 260 and 250 doesn't get hit, maybe 255 or, something. And I think that would be either dip buying opportunity or just chill. Opportunities to chill, do nothing, retard max, $3 strike call for August, nothing but increasing open interest. $3.50, nothing but increasing open interest. And so I'm planning on rolling some of I have a $2.50, a $3, and a $3.50 covered call that expire next month in July. I plan on rolling them to effectively get a sell at least, an effective sell at least $4 a share. This one, though, I believe was recently created. And so why do market makers create contracts? it's because they kind of want to dilute that kind of gamma pressure that's pushing the stock up. With this at 350, that pressure, it keeps building, the price keeps going up, and it's just going to keep going up, in my view. And then I do have some of these calls. $5 strike. This is one that I covered a while ago. I have been trimming it as it goes up, but I've also been buying back fractions of what I trimmed on the way up. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's looking really good. And then just to come back to the chart, I haven't looked fully at Clean Spark, but just to real quick for Nick, who's always here. This is kind of, you know, we're seeing higher highs come in, lower lows, or higher lows. We need to see, if I said lower lows before I meant higher lows, we need to see the next higher low at some point. And so I think that price could be going up to 3 and then pulling back to around 250. And then from there, I think it could be going up to 4. So yeah, I mean, I think AMC just looks great. I feel like, you know, the years of talking about it and being wrong and it just going down, losing conviction, I just feel kind of stupid. And now that I just feel kind of stupid, it's looking kind of smart, you know, finally. Although, you know, my average for AMC is at like 8 or 10, somewhere around there. I don't know if it's going to get there, but I think it's definitely going to get to 4. I didn't see anything too crazy over here for Clean Spark. No, Clean Spark. Let's look at that. Why? CLSK. CLSK. Let's search that. There we go. Highest premium. These are all a day ago. That's what I was talking about. Clean Spark over here, CLSK. And actually coin, CLSK is before coin alphabetically. 12, 17. I think this is kind of telling me it might be cooling off. So 14, I don't know if I get an alert at 14, but if Max Payne's at 1550, hey, 14's over here. I'm just going to leave it alone. Can't participate in everything. Can't worry about it. Okay, and then so coming back to the list, I've gone over coin. GLXY Digital was the next one. This is one that like looks so good. I did a post on it. Let's just look at my profile here. GLXY Digital. Ondo, GLXY Digital. Okay. Yep, it's just like, if you can't see the bullish impulse wave that's coming on the chart, then there's no helping you in the investment game. The stock price is unironically moving in conjunction with the improving fundamentals of the business. This is headed towards all-time highs in short order. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. It looks so good. Oh my God, it looks so good. This is from Cantonese Cat. I just hope that they don't sell off GLXY after they realize that it's not really a space stock, but it's showing some incredible strength so far. I did this, you know, this is supposed to be Cantonese Cat. I'm talking to him. He's not really interested because I'm talking about options. He's not a trader. He's an investor. And this guy, he looks happy. And Cantonese Cat's so happy. His tail's coming up between his legs. He's bracing himself with this guy and with Ed, GLXY Digital. Anyways, I put out that video that got more than 100 views. And that was kind of based on this analysis, I believe. Wait, no. I guess on this analysis. Oh, but $45 strike September calls decreased. Yeah, so anyways, I'm excited about it. Follow me on X if you want this stuff. I'm spending too much time on this video. It's been over 2 hours long. But let's just look at this. Okay, I have 2 shares at $30 a share, and I'm regretting not getting more. I don't think my order is going to get filled at $29. I have to do this so you guys know that I'm stressed because I'm excited, okay? Okay, so let's look at some of the call options here. $31 strike call that expires next Friday. We've seen some selling. This is not that crazy. Net call premium actually decreased yesterday by $52,000. This put, why do I have the put there? Past 30 days, this is why. Selling of the put. And this is a $32.50 strike put that expires next Friday. And so that to me is like they're betting on price being above 32.50, because if it's above 32.50, they collect that premium. That candle premium was $2.4 million. But if it gets exercised, let's pull up the calculator. I might just pull up a calculator window. Calculator. And so what am I looking at? This is candle volume 7,200. So 7,200 times 100 times 32.5. So 7208. Let's just do 7208. 72. Wait a second. Why? 7208 times 100 times 32.5. That's how much money they have secured to buy shares if it closes below 32.50. And let's see, commas would be here. That's $23 million. That's a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, I think that they kind of just wanted to collect the couple million dollars in premium. I don't know, but they haven't sold, or they haven't bought back. That's a lot of money though. That's crazy. The $31 strike call that expires next week. This is why I have it on there. Oh man. This is too close for comfort for me as far as time goes. Let's see. But that's printed, it's, premium here. The average fill was 245 and then it's gone up to like 4. So very nice. This is $35 strike call that expires in September. So comfortable for me as far as time frame goes. But this is also kind of like a mixed signal here. There's some red there. $35 strike, but the premium, it's like $600, for one contract. Too uncomfortable for me. The $45 strike call. Oh my gosh, I want to own this. I want to buy this. But I'm probably not going to get a fill. I'm probably not going to get a fill, and I have to accept that. And if I'm not going to get a fill, my fill, my limit by order was 210. The lowest it was like 229. And I probably didn't even have the order placed then. But yeah, I mean, with this, I mean, like everybody's kind of going like crazy with this. Like it just looks so insane. Let's look over the past. Yeah, I mean, look at this off the charts. This is what I posted about. $6.4 million net call premium going up. Stock price in yellow there going up. Things are calming. Oh my God, this looks so good. I want. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to get a fill with that. And I don't even know if I have the order placed still because I had to adjust some things. But my thought process is this is not coming back down to 30, which is where I had my 2 shares. And I want more. And I'm not going to get a crazy amount of shares or anything. But I do think that what we're seeing is higher highs. Oops. Lower highs. Bearish divergence. I think this could be pulling back. What was the low on Friday? 33.44. I don't think I get, oh, yep. And also too, look at this. I think this looks really nice. Horizontal. That could be like support around 32. And so I think this is going much higher. I don't have enough and I don't hold that contract. So what I think I want to do is adjust my dip buy, not to 29, because I don't think that's going to get filled. I think I want to adjust my dip buy to 33 because I'm kind of like bull-hearted with it. You know, I don't have enough. I feel like I'm missing out. Even if I just get a little bit more. But that's fine. If it goes back to 30, it's fine. I think the chart looks amazing. I think the data looks amazing. So, not going to the right window. There we go. Okay, yeah, so let's look at that. Max pain for GLXY. 2250, it's well above that. Next week it's 31, so I think it like could be cooling off. See 31 there? Could be cooling off if it comes down to 31. Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. Yeah, but like, I mean, you see all these max pains like in the 20s and stuff. This is like looking so good. Even if it goes back to there, there'll be an opportunity. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think it's going higher. I don't think it's going down. And then I did want to have, let's see, I'm just thinking about this because I did want to replace that 210 buy for that contract, but I'm probably just going to miss out on it, but at least I'll get some more shares. And so you've got to win some, lose some. You got to, you know, you can't have everything. I'm kind of shifting away from trading options because I end up missing them. But yeah, I mean, this just looks really good. And I think I just missed it by a little bit, but no big deal. But yeah, coming back to 33 and then 32, you know, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that looks just incredible. Let's go on to the next one, which is going to be GameStop. This is one that I want to get back my 100 shares, which is going to cost me $500, but I'll have netted $100 if I do that. And so I have that order placed. I also have a buy order placed just at 21. What was the low on Tuesday, I guess? The low is 21.13. It was just one share, so no big deal. But I still have that order placed, 21, just chilling. The contract that I had sold, very uninteresting, $27 strike call for December of 2028, 910 days. Why did I sell this covered call? Because I didn't want to pay interest on a credit card, because that was always my plan. I didn't make the best trading decisions. And I had seen this that was like, hey, you know, somebody sold, looks like some calls at an average price, average fill of 625. So I think I actually sold at 625. And so I made $625 in premium. And my average share price is less than 27. So there's like no risk I'd lose money with this. But really, I just lose time. Because I think that GameStop will probably be going up above 27 between now and the end of 2028. And so for this, it's like, well, you know, 625. Okay, I could buy back at 5. So I have a limit buy at 5. Gotten as low as 550. But not to 5. And so I'm just waiting for it to come to 5. And if that happens, great. If it doesn't, it's fine. But we're getting close. So I got that limit order placed there. But yeah, I think that this was actually, I'm not sure. I think that this might have been buys, but they were buying on the bid side, not the ask side. And so it didn't seem bullish. But that was, you know, a big move here. I could have sold them up here at 930. And I would have made a lot more money. But, you know, you live and you learn. And maybe this is something that I want to do again if the stock price is really going up insane. But that was on May 1st. What was the stock price doing on May 1st? It got as high as 26.88. So yeah, I mean, that was, then it just kind of came down. So, but let's look at the data over here, not over past 90 days, but let's just do the 30 days. Lots of call premium coming down, being negative. So it does make me think that price has not found a bottom yet. I think my $21 order will get filled. I think my 50 buyback, that covered call, will get filled, or sorry, $5. Yep, this one, which is good. That's just a waste of time. And let's look at max pain for GameStop. $21.50. It's right around there. $22.20. I mean, I think price could be coming down to 20 at some point. But maybe not. So dollar cost average, easy peasy. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's see, other stuff on my list. Mara. I think Mara, let's see. Just gonna look at my phone. Okay, Mara. I only have 31 shares. My average price is $12.97. Currently in the green, $14.22. Do I want to start trimming? I don't know. I haven't been trimming. Oh, I do have a limit order placed at $15.56, which we nearly got to. I think I just placed that limit trim. It's just for one share, so I'd still have 30 shares. Yeah, and actually, I think kind of like an idea from, I don't know. I don't want to think too much. I do that. And then I get these streams going for multiple hours. Let's see. That trim, 1556, would be at a 20% profit, okay? Where it's at now, I'm basically at 10% profit. I think it's fine to trim there, but let's look at the options data. Is there something that really stands out? This is a month away, so a little too close for comfort for me. The past couple days here doesn't look so good in my view. Reason being because we have net put premium going up here, spiking up $2.2 million, while net call premium's down $818,000. That's bearish. And then we have yesterday, net call premium going down by 1.8 million, bearish, or not bullish, I should say. So that doesn't get me too excited about this going up. Nothing too crazy over the past 14 days. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is nothing too crazy. Mara. Let's look at that. 12 max pain for June 16th. Closed above, so that looks good. This upcoming Friday, 14. I think max pain might catch up to us, and then that'll be the last time, and then it will start to break out. But yeah, I mean, we have higher highs. This was a high of 1532, and the high over here, 1526. But I mean, this is like, you know, higher highs up to here, lower highs generally. Bearish, that's bearish divergence. But maybe what we're seeing now is the cool off before the next leg up. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I mean, I think that this could perform really good. I know Benjamin, I believe, had a position in Mara. And so now I think is the time to just chill. And I think that maybe it could be, I don't know if it's going to be going back to these levels, but I think now is the time to not say, oh, I'm at break even, sell. I'll sell one share at 20% profit, which is like 20% on, that's like less than $3. But in and out, practicing, discipline, whatnot. So yeah. Okay, then next one on the list, maybe this is a little scary, MicroStrategy, or strategy, I should say. I did add to this is my kind of like longer term position. On Friday, I just got one more share at 116. I had a couple weeks ago bought one share at 116. Kind of went lower. I could have gotten that one share at a low of 107.85 or 108. So maybe that's a level to consider over here. I mean, still, the low over here was 104.17. Higher low. Still a higher low. There's no divergence there. But 108, MicroStrategy, MSTR, or strategy, sorry. At 108, only one. I have sloppy handwriting. But yeah, I mean, I think that's because it's an exclamation point. So that's one that I'm intrigued by, along with FCX. Look at this. 4 red days. Crazy. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, let's look up some contracts to see what's going on. MSTR. $38 million. 37 million. $35 call. These are deep in the money calls. Suggest selling. Millions over there. I suggest selling. Yep. Why would they be selling calls? I'm confused by that. But yeah, let's look at this one. This one's maybe more interesting. Yeah, because these are like, this is out of the money, and it's for next week. Yeah, so this one, open interest was 106. Now it's 20. I mean, if you're selling covered calls here at 116, you're basically betting that it's going to go down. And so I would expect the open interest to go up, but this to be because of selling covered calls. 116. I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to add it to a watch list, which I could do by doing that. It's a little easier. And then let's see 110 a month from now. Let's look at that contract. Yeah. This doesn't make me feel too confident. MSTR. I'm not sure. 123. Way lower than max pain. Way lower than max pain. That's insane. So yeah, maybe 108. Man. Crazy. And then also, I mean, if this is getting close to $100, why would you buy stretch when you could buy strategy if it's like super low at 100? Like, has it ever been? Yes, it has been this low. I don't know. Want it brick by brick. Nothing too crazy. Okay, the next one, open. This is one that I do believe I have a buy order just for one share. I have over 100 shares now. And so one thing that I'm going to want to do is think about selling a covered call. But let's just think about the chart here. I do have, I believe, a dip buy order for one at 430. Nothing crazy, just, while it's low, while it's below my average, add a little bit. I was so close up here to, I believe, selling my shares at 10% profit. I think it would have been a little bit above 564, or I was just like a day late, with the plan of buying back at 440. And I missed it by a day. Oh well, it happens. But then I did get up to 100 shares buying at 440. And so now I'm just doing like one share at a time. 430. Okay, nothing too exciting. This is one that I don't know if you guys remember. I did a video on this. And this is, one that Mike Alfred talks about, Anthony Pompliano talks about. I did a video, I believe, on this day, on November 7th or following that day. And I talked about it being in this channel. And it's possible I had the channel drawn out this far. I think I had it extended, probably not this far, but I had suggested that it could be in a channel, and that's just played out perfectly. So, at the top, good time to sell, bottom, good time to buy. And yeah, so the top was around, wow, crazy $9. Down here, sub 6. And now it's at 440. I mean, I don't know. And I know somebody asked the Bronx Viking what his thoughts were on open. Are you long? Do you like it? He said no. So maybe this one's a dud. Maybe I should GTFO at break even if I can, which, to note, my average is not 440 because that trade did not play out as I had hoped. I have 102 shares at 460.07, and I have a limit buy order for one at 430. Nothing too exciting as usual. But let's look at the data over here. Ooh, NEO. I'm sure people would like me to cover NEO. I used to cover them, but I got some hate for it, and I was like spot on. And yeah, I didn't, it's like, don't read the comments, because you could read one comment. You get 100 comments that are super nice. They make you feel so good, but then you get one comment that just destroys you. I got one of those with NEO. But anyways, I'll come back to NEO. Let's first look at open. I do have a contract in open that is, I thought I did, I guess not. Oh, that's the Webull account. My Robinhood account, I've got, let's see, a $6 strike call for open that expires in August. And I only have one. My average is at 55 cents. $6 strike call that expires in August. So I'm in the red, but I'm not chasing. I'm not buying. I'm waiting for the signal. When's the bottom? When's the upside move? Not seeing that yet. Mixed signals here. $7 strike call that expires in August. Mixed signals again. And then $7 strike call that expires in January. Mixed signal. If I look at this data over the past month, past 30 days, net call premium increasing, net call premium decreasing. So not looking so hot. So I'm just chilling in that contract. I'm risking $55. Maybe I lose it. No big deal. So I'm just chilling with that. Open, nothing too crazy. Yep. And so let's just look at open. 450 max paint. Yeah, I mean, it's all around 450 until it starts to move up. We're not seeing anything too crazy. And so, yeah, I mean, I'll just add one share at a time around my average. No big deal. And let's see what, it was above $5 a couple days ago. It was a 503 on Tuesday. I was at work, busy. I was not paying attention. But let's see if my average is 460, 461 for open. And if the goal is to get my average down, 461, 507 is 10% profit for me. And we nearly hit that, but maybe in the after hours that would have hit. So I would say, since I have more than 100 shares, I should probably just place a trim order for the 2 shares for being above 100 for selling cover call. 507, limit sell 2 shares And I can just set it and forget it, not worrying about it. Just to trim, still got 100 shares, can still sell a covered call. And on that note, let's think about the covered call. What's my average? Oh, sorry, I was very close to the mic there. What's my average? 461. I had wanted to sell 5. I did not get a fill. And actually 550. Sorry for the flashing. I'm just going back to the 559 limit. And that's for June 18th. So let's look at that contract. So open 550 for yesterday. 550. It's not a very popular one. Why did I try to sell that covered call? Maybe because it's in the past. That's why I'm not finding it. That's probably why. Would have been interesting to see what that went to. What am I? Oh yeah, because I'd want it. Okay, so I didn't sell that. And so for the 26th, I don't want to sell any lower than 5 at 5. But I don't necessarily think it's going up. And so maybe what I want to do is add the contract that I'd like to sell as a covered call. This one here, or this one here. So they're both for next week. 8. So that'd be like selling at 508. If 10% profit is 507, 550, well, I don't think it's going to go to 550. I think I could get a fill. 550, that's collecting $2. That's nothing crazy. But 5, I mean, looking at the stock, do I think it could go back up to 5? I mean, it was at 5 a couple days ago. So yeah, I think it could go up to 5. Do you think it could go up to 550? Sure. So I think that's more in line with what I should be doing. 550, I think I could get a fill at 3. So let's see about that. Options, 550, and I could get a fill at 3 to sell. And then that would put my selling of shares at 553, which is not bad. And that would be at an exactly 20% profit. So I'm going to do 555, 3-cent premium, not being greedy, and that expires 6/26. So I'm just going to make that yellow over here so I know I've placed it. Okay, and yeah. I don't know if it's getting too dark in here, if you guys can't see me. I don't know if people are still watching. Let's see. One concurrent viewer. Oh, let's see. One concurrent viewer. I say concurrent, a little funny. Oh, and you guys are looking at this. You guys can see that. Cool. Let's see. What was I looking at? Okay, Palantir is next on the list. This is one where I got 1 share at 150 in more of my swing trading account, 1 share at 135 in more of my longer term account. And now I'm in the red both, apparently. On Wednesday, it hit a high of 136. I mean, and this is something that Colin, Gladman, Bronx Viking, others have been talking about. This looking really good, like it's going to break out. But it just didn't happen. It's just the pullback before the breakout. Maybe something like that happens with GLXY, you know. But with this, I mean, do I want to add to it? I don't know. Let's PLTR. Let's see what the options data is saying. Premium, millions of dollars, Hundreds of millions of dollars. That's insane. Those are deep in the money calls. Crazy. If those were exercised, damn. Buying hundreds of shares at 35 bucks. That's insane. Yeah, this is, I don't have that kind of money. But let's just look at this. It doesn't look so good. Call premium coming down, call premium coming up, call premium coming down, but as call premium's coming down, put premium's going up. Yep. Doesn't look so good. Palantir. Uh, 128 was max pain, 128 above it, 133 for next week. I think it's probably going to go lower, is my guess. So for me, I'm just going to chill. Because if I had 2 shares at 135, maybe I'd sell one at break even to then buy back lower, or just hold the other one and just hold the other one if I'm wrong. But what was the low yesterday? 125. 125 is an interesting level. PLTR. 125. I'm just going to write only one. Although I'm probably not going to do that. Yeah, so that's interesting. Although I don't think the data looks really that good. But maybe I'm wrong. Got rejected from the 200-day simple moving average there. Okay, so next one on the list is Rigetti. This is one, I thought this was a bull flag. I bought up here, not shares, so I'm grateful for that. Or sorry, not contracts, so I'm grateful for that. Then I added a little bit here. And so let's just see. Rigetti. I've got 9 shares at an average price of $25.52. What was the high over here? It looks like on Monday. $23.57. Rigetti. Let's look at some options data. RGTI. $360,000. Call for next week, 21. In the money currently. Net call premium up by $408,000 yesterday. Doesn't necessarily look that good right here. Over the past 7 days, nothing too crazy. Over the past month, nothing too crazy. So, I mean, in the interest of, well, higher lows. There's no volume here. 1941. What was the low on Thursday? 1953. Let's do 1969. I think that was probably my last buy because I'm an idiot. We're getting 1969 because I'm an idiot. Let's do it again. Whoa, I have 1926. Why do I have 1926? The low over here is probably 1926. Nope, 1847. Here, 1916. It's probably moving average based on the moving average. And so the moving average, the 50 days, the blue one, that's currently at 1982. That would have gotten a fill. I'll do 1982. Because yeah, you guys can see it. Okay, and over here, when I would have done this on Friday, it was 1926. So that's why I would have chosen 1926. And so now it's 1982. So I'm just going to up that to 1982. I already have a buy order placed, so that's not going to change my account balance too much, just for one share. So nothing crazy. Okay, well, that's placed. We can go on to the next one. One that's a little more exciting. I think I only have, let's see, RIVN. I only have 6 shares of RIVN. Nothing too exciting. I think I have been trimming one share at a time. Nothing crazy. My next limit sell is at 1885, which for Rivian, 1885 is a 30% gain for me. See, I mean, this looks like, hey, move up, consolidate, maybe break out higher. This is one that Cantonese Cat covers on the longer time frame. I mean, look at that though. That looks pretty good. Break out from this downtrend, retesting it, pop up. I think this is looking good. And so let's look up Rivian. I don't have any Rivian contracts here. Okay, sort this by premium. Less than 300,000, nothing too crazy. That was for yesterday's contract, so nothing too crazy. Let's just look at the top one. Net call premium coming down, net put premium coming down, but was up for a little bit of the day. Past 30 days, going up, coming down. Nothing too crazy. So Rivian, my average is 1450. So I'm just hanging out. I think that I've got an alert at 1450. If it comes back to there, then I, add more. Let's look. Oh, I didn't look up max pain for Rigetti. Rigetti computing. Okay. 20, 21. Yeah, I think it could cool off and then continue up. Starting to rain, man. I didn't do any work outside. I should have been more productive earlier today. I had to go to work though. Kind of sucked. But I got paid double time. Okay, what am I thinking with this? I've already made my decision with that. So Rivian is what I want to look at. For max pain, 1645 close, above max pain. Next week it's right at it. I think it could be cooling off before continuing higher. So yeah, I'm chilling with it. No big deal. SBET is the next one that I will have SOFI here in a minute. SBET, oh my God. I think I have more than 100 shares of this one, so I can sell a covered call. But I'd have to do that I'd have to place the order on Monday because I had sold the covered call for this week, which was a $10 strike because my average is 931. Actually, is it 931? 931. Okay, so I do have a buy order placed on this one for $5. What was the low today? I think on Thursday, I think it was like 507. 507. I was going to say 503. I looked. It wasn't a guess. 507, so very close, but not quite. Just chilling. I got 120 shares. Sell a covered call. I had done 10, but I could do 950. Let's look at the contracts. What looks interesting? I am looking up SBET. So I'm thinking like 10 or 950. And really, I just want to look up the contract that has the most premium, 159,000, $8 call expiring January 2028. I don't know if this is selling covered call, $8, makes sense. So this isn't looking too crazy, not looking too bullish or anything, not at all. But let's look at, for this upcoming Friday, 550, nope. Let's see, I just want like 10 or these are puts, dang it. Let's sort this by just want to get kind of like the general info. So nothing for the 26th. Nothing standing out for the 26th. So I'll look it up on my phone, and then I'll pull it up on here. What looks most interesting to me? Oh, options for the 26th. 950 and 10. Neither. Yeah, I think I had sold it for just 1 cent. And I think the reason why I went with the 10 rather than the 950 is because open interest on the 10 is 149, whereas for 950 it's 7. So considering that there's more open interest, I'd be more likely to get a buyer at 1 cent, somebody trying to desperately get their calls premium down. Whereas 950, if there's only 7 positions open, it could just be one person. They may not buy it. 1 cent. So let's look that up. I want to look at this strike call or that expiration, and I want to do the $10. So let's add that. Yeah, I think I could sell one of these, make $1, and not lose my shares. And so I'm just going to note that here. Um, 26. Okay, and so I need to remember to place that. Okay. And let's also look at the max pain for SBET. $6, closed at 526 or 529 at close right there. And yep, then 550 next week. I mean, it's possible, like BitMine, that it's starting to bottom and it starts to move up. You can only hope. But yeah, if my order gets filled at 5, I'll buy another, or around there. And yep, and continue on. And then so the next one I do want to go over is SOFI. And the reason for that is because I've covered SOFI over here somewhere. SOFI seems like it could be headed towards 22 by September, indicated by the contract with the most open interest being the $22 September call. And so we have the data right here. This is like old data. Looks like buys here when premium's low. Premium comes back down, add to that. Premium's back down around there. Lower it. 22, suggesting some upside. And we had seen at the, I guess, beginning of June, right here, you can barely see it there. The net call premium increased by 7.2 million. So that seems pretty exciting. Millions going into it the past 60 trading days. There were some mixed signals in the recent run-up in June 1st. However, the net call premium was off the chart that day, 7 million, as I just said. And so I suspect it won't be below $17 per share for long. It's not anymore. I did place a buy order to buy, I think, 10 shares at 16. I missed it. Let's look at SOFI. Oh, NEO. I need to go back over NEO. So we'll do NEO next. But SOFI, my alphabet skills are bad. See, the past few days, the low on Monday was 1701. So it didn't even get into the 16s. But yeah, let's look at that contract that I was interested in. That's this one. Past 60 days. You see it. Past 60 days or 30 days over here. I can't do 60. But it does look like there's been some selling. But so basically my thought process was I had noticed this after the Friday last week when the low was 72 cents. And so I was like, well, crap, I'd like to get one at 72 cents. And so this is the $22 call that expires 9/18 and at 72 cents. I don't have a buy order placed, or at least I don't think I do. I do. And so it's like I'm more bullish on that or on GLXY. I don't have enough cash to get the GLXY order. So SOFI, yeah, leave that, got it placed. Maybe I won't stick with it though. But the low on Thursday was 90. So I can maybe get a fill. Yeah, and just looking at this the past couple days. On Wednesday, net call premium did go up a bunch, but it did end the day up only 1.1 million, whereas it was at a high of like 3.8 million. So that looks good. That's what I wanted to point out with that. Let's just look at the max pain. 15 closed at 17.91, looking good. Next week at 17. And so it's like max pain's increasing as stock price is increasing. But yeah, I mean, if max pain's 17 next week and it's close to that, 17.50 the week after, it could be pulling back some, maybe even to 16.50. But that's September call, so no big deal. And it'd be a risk of 72 bucks. I can lose 72 bucks. No big deal. Okay, and then so now let's just look at NEO. This is around $5, you know, like I was saying, it could be topping around here and people were pissed off at me. And I don't know, I really lost a lot of steam for the channel because of this stock. Because like I get so many views and it get me really excited. And then I did a follow-up, like, you know, it's like here, it's like, I think it's squeezing, or I think here, I think it's squeezing. And it's like, well, I think it's already squeezed. I think it could be topping. I think like around the 7s. And it ended up doing that. But people did not like that I was saying that I think it could be topping. After I had just said I thought it could be squeezing, but it's like you see this signal, things happen fast. You got to make a move. I saw the signal, there's a move. I recognized, hey, that move was the top or getting close to the top. That ended up playing out. And I mean, what do you see here? This is kind of like a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Kind of got rejected there though. But yeah, I mean, Cantonese Cats posted about this. Is there any bullish data though? It's around $5. Let's look it up. So I have this one contract, $4 strike call that expires in August. Why back here? I'll just do 30 days. And I'll do this one 30 days. They match. Some mixed signals, you know. But over here, 3.8 million. On May 22nd, like right here, it was bottoming before going up. I'll zoom in so you can see it. May 22nd, bottoming, went up. Now it's a lower low, but this is a higher low. Maybe it's the bullish divergence. I don't know. But yeah, the premium's down now. I'm not seeing anything screaming, this is bullish. This is a buy right now. Do you see some increases? But this is only tens of thousands. Here. This is maybe interesting. 3 days. It's a mixed signal though. Net call premium came down. I think price could be coming down to 4. It's at 5. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the bottom's in. Yeah. I don't know. I was saying it could come back to 439. It came back to 438. Perfect. I don't think it's going to come back to 4, but I think it could come down to like 485, somewhere around there. I don't know. The signals are just not telling me bottom's in. I think we got to wait for those signals to tell us that the bottom's in. Okay, and so let's look up the max pain. NEO, I bet it's 5 and it closed 2 cents above. But when it's 4, a little over a month from now, if the stock price is above 4, that's when you could start to see the moves higher. Like, let's say it's still around 5. Max pain's still 4, then it starts to move up, and then it starts to push this 550 max pain higher up with it. So I could see that happening. I don't think the time is now. Next on the list, after having just done SBET, stretch. This one's crazy. It's supposed to be around $100. And wow, I didn't realize it hit an all-time low. Because the low over here is 88. Oh, wow. I guess I was looking at some, on my phone, some pre-listing data, I guess. It's 79.90. But yeah, as far as it being listed here, new all-time low, not looking so good. It's supposed to be around $100. So I mean, when it's this low, you could get, you know, goes from 88 to high up. But let's see, what was the low on Thursday? You know, because I added at 90 because I didn't think it'd go below 90. The low over here on Friday, June 5th was 90.38. So it's like, yeah, maybe it goes to 90 and then goes back up. Pierced to 90, went to 89. Actually, I think it's like I saw 89. It's like, well, I mean, maybe 90 holds. Closed there 89. Yeah, I don't know. Yep, actually, that's when I think I got the fill. And then yesterday, I didn't have an order placed, but hit a low of 82.53. So, I mean, I didn't buy that. Let's say stretch at, let's say 83. Because maybe it doesn't go all the way down. You know, maybe the bottom's in. Only 1. Okay, something I'll consider. And let's look at the options data. I didn't expect the options data to be interesting for stretch. But it's apparently kind of interesting now because it's so far off $1 or $100. Oh, well. I mean, how long is it going to take for it to get back to 100? Because, you know, up here, that's 100. How long did it take from, let's say, the low here, like once it's been listed? No, once it got to $1 and then it crashed. How long did it take to get back up? Okay, that's just a month. That's not fair. So yeah, let's be conservative. Yeah, and let's say from the beginning, worst case scenario. How long did it take to get up to $1? That's like a month and a half, or really to hold it, that's like 2 months. Okay. So looking at these, this is actually kind of interesting. Buy a call when everybody's so bearish. Could I sell? I don't have enough money to sell cash secured put. But buy a call. Let's see. 95 months from now. Month makes me nervous. It's $100. or the low is 120. I don't know. But let's just see here. $85 put. I'm sure there were a bunch of cash secured puts sold. 85. People saying, hey, I'd buy at 85. I mean, were there any at 80? No. 70. Cash secured put. That'd be a smart trade, I think. But then you'd be 70. And then this adds, so that'd be like 73. But you need to have the cash secured. So it's like 70 times 100, $7,000. That's actually kind of interesting. I don't have that much cash on the side, but it's interesting. Anyways, let's look at this put. Not necessarily looking at the put, but looking at the data here. Okay, so net put premium on Wednesday went up by 552,000. Yep. And then yesterday, it ended at 713,000. Interesting. Oh, let's just look at the max pain. Stretch. 95. That's crazy. I was expecting it to be 100. So yeah, one of those that's interesting to me, just to think about. 85, 90. August 85. Nope. That's what I'm thinking about over here. But yeah, 95. Just to think about, just to watch. Stretch. $95 call for 717 at $1. I think that's interesting. So I'm going to add that to my list. I think it's interesting to follow. The next one here is T1 Energy. I think macro, this looks really good, but I had gotten kind of a small position and some calls up here. I had gotten calls down here and I kind of chickened out. I exited at break even because I just wasn't that familiar. And then I got back in up here. Stupid. I knew it was going to be stupid. But lesson learned, don't do that. And so what I actually have in both accounts. It's not, well, I think, it seems like it's going to be a winner. I'll just do it in both. 200 in one account and 200 in the other account, risking on it. Average is 51 for the premium in both accounts. But yeah, let's see what's going on with this. I mean, this does look like a bear flag. Doesn't look so good. But let's look at some of those. So the contract that I'm talking about is the $20 call that expires next month. So that's this one. And I said my average is 51. It's, 15. So not looking so good. But let's look at these other contracts. Maybe there's something that stands out. I don't know. Probably all duds. And so let's see. TE. $850 max pain, close at 939. So that's good. 9 next week. Hopefully this is just, big move up, cool off, consolidation, next move up. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Because, I mean, with this cool off, in price coming down. You also have volume coming down. I mean, it could take a month more of doing this before it goes up, though. That's kind of the concern. But yeah, longer term, probably good. Oh yeah, and it did break below. I have 950. Wanted to hold that as support, broke below it, closed the week below it at 935. But maybe that's a fake out. I don't know. Next one on the list is Tesla, now above 400. I've been adding to this a little bit. We'll see what happens. I have a pretty small position. I just add fractions of shares to accumulate a handful of shares over time. But yeah, let's just look up Tesla. Premium, 39,000. Call, it's expired yesterday. But let's just look at the past 30 days. Call premium up, call premium down, up, down. Kind of crazy. Let's look at Tesla max pain. 372, closed well above that. Next week, not next week, on Monday. It's like every other day there's options. That's crazy. I did not know. That's probably why it's so volatile. But 400, yeah, 402, crazy. All right, but yeah, it makes sense that the monthly would be so much lower because people placed those bets months ago. And that's probably what drove max pain a little bit lower. We also got Unity software here. Wow, this actually looks pretty similar. Crazy. Pretty similar, pretty similar. I don't have a big share position. I previously sold a bunch of calls on it, or bought calls, swung calls, made some money on them. But then I kind of, tiptoed away because you get too attached, you fall in love, all that stuff. And so I've got 10 shares at 26 bucks. It's at 27.48. I do have a limit sell order at 31.20, which is a 20% gain for me. And just for one share. So nothing exciting as usual. Let's look up Unity, see if there's anything interesting over here. Most premium traded, 120,000. February calls, 39 bucks. Those are out of the money. And it looks like maybe selling a covered call. I don't know. Over the past 30 days, nothing's really screaming out too much to me. This day, though, is kind of weird. 3.1 million, but what do we have after that? Like off the charts, net call premium going up. Stock price went up. And then over here, net call premium up 2.8 million. Stock price went up, and then it's cooled off some. So it's gone up, cooled off some. Actually, I don't know if that's... This would be on May 21st and 28th. Yep, so like right around here. Big move up. Pulling back to this as support. I think it looks really good, but I don't see any contracts that, well... Yeah, let's look at what are some of the contracts that maybe stand out as being interesting. At least 2 months out, 32 for August. That'd be selling covered calls, I imagine. Looks like selling covered calls. 40. Mixed. I don't know. Nothing too clear there. Unity software. 25 max pain, close at 27, 30. And then we do have max pain right around where we're at stock price wise next week. So, but maybe stock moves up and starts to bring max pain with it. I could see that I think this looks good. And one other one that I did have on here, UAMY. I think I was just curious about this. And so let's look at UAMY, which is similar to USAR, rare earth. This doesn't look as good because, you know, it tested the 200-day simple moving average, bounced above all of them, broke back below the 200. Now it's still below it. USAR is above the 200, the 100, and the 50-day simple moving average, but below the 20-day. So that looks better. I think there's something that I wanted to see with this contract specifically. Looks like selling. 850 stock prices, 785 at close. Let's see, 7 days ago. This would have been on the 12th. So yeah, this suggests covered calls being sold, I imagine. Max pain for UAMY. 750 closed above it. A couple weeks, 8. Yep, interesting. And so, I don't know if there are people still watching. I imagine somebody's just left it on. But so what I'm probably going to do for myself over the weekend, very similar to what I did with this stream, I'm going to go over all of these tickers in this list here. And if one stands out to me, gets me excited, I'll do a video on that. And if this stream gets either 10 likes or 100 views, I'll do the same thing again next week. It's just that, like, I do this for myself every week, every weekend, but it probably takes me an hour. This has taken me over 3 hours. So I kind of don't want to do it every weekend, but if it gets 10 likes, if it gets over 100 views, I'll do it. And it doesn't have to be 10 likes and 100 views, just one or the other. If it gets both, that's great. And I'll do this again next weekend for you guys. But if not, I'm going to do this for myself anyways. And actually, before I close that, I just want to check my little, okay, TE, something I was thinking about. I do have an alert. It's 7. I don't think that's going to happen. I only have a couple shares of TE. But I do have the calls that are probably going down. But my position is 828. I'm just chilling. I'm not worried about it. And then Unity Software 2550. I have an alert there, I believe. Yep. And then I just, add more. Otherwise, that's it. And so if you did enjoy this stream, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do this again. If you got something nice to say, please don't say it. I have a tough time making these videos. Just having the motivation and the energy to do it. So please do not discourage. If you want to discourage, you can just leave it blank. But yeah, thanks everybody for showing up in the chat. Hopefully this is, I know it's a long stream, 3 hours, but hopefully the information is useful for you guys. I'm really excited about AMC. I'm excited about CIFR. Those are the two that stand out most to me. Otherwise, everything else is just kind of like take advantage of dips and or trim as things go up, but do it strategically. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have had a great start to your long weekend. And I hope the normal weekend that's up ahead is an exciting one for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.